Hello, Mario. Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is now time for day 2 of my coverage of the Fall in Love Visual Novel Fest. I'm Burr. I sure am, Molly. Good to see you. And hello to Mal as well. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with our first uh, visual novel of the night, which is by Studio Elan, the ones who organized the whole festival. Lock and Key, a magical girl mystery. Lock and Key, a magical girl mystery, is a romantic thriller visual novel starring a married couple of former magical girls. Along with an old friend and a new protege, they'll undertake one last journey to free Chicago from the terrifying grip of a mysterious serial killer. Beef your emo. Shameful, Molly. Shameful. Also, I don't know when this I don't know when this visual novel's meant to take place, but like it says that they're a couple in their late 20s, yet both are born. Oh God. Oh no. I didn't see that part. They're both born in 1990. Um, and I am more than well aware that this game is releasing this year. We can't be in our late 20s anymore. If I'm not in my late 20s, they're certainly not. One of them is also born March 7th. So that's fun. What a fun coincidence. Also, um, the the new magical girl is born in 2004. Is also a funny coincidence. For reasons I'm not gonna get into right now. Anyway, let's get started with the game. I think that would be a smart thing to do. Don't you? Yoo-hoo-hoo. All right. Do game capture. Do daddle do boop doo. Good. Welcome. Also, the menu kind of moves. That's cute. All right. Let's quickly check the options. I don't think there's going to be anything. I think we'll leave it on our Tigra Sands. Self-voicing. I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to leave it. Let us go ahead and start. In the beginning, there was only darkness. And from that darkness, two beings emerged, benevolence and malice. From them, our universe was born. And within that universe, one small planet was chosen as their eternal battleground. Neither being had a physical form, and so they could not battle directly. And so a new species was born. This species would one day grow to include the proxy soldiers meant to fight their battle for them. Malice was the first to create such soldiers. It reached out to the cruel, to the greedy, to the uncaring. It offered them great power as reward for their service, but also bestowed a new form upon them, a twisterous, monstrous form that reflected their true nature. My dumbass needs to turn up the volume on this a little bit. Much better. These monsters, bound to one day succumb fully to their transformation and exist as no more than mindless beasts, came to be known by a single name. The Consumed. These Consumed lived normal lives by day, but embraced their cruelty at night. Their existence was kept a secret so as to better facilitate their activities without resistance. Benevolence saw these beasts and knew that there was only one way to combat them, not by driving humans into paranoia and violence, but by creating warriors of its own. It saw the compassion, the love, the desire to do good that existed within the hearts of young women. These qualities represented benevolence ideals more strongly than any other humans. And so they were chosen to be these champions of the light. Benevolence came to them without deceit. It told them the truth of the universe, and told them of the dangers they would face by joining this battle. None were forced to take up arms. Only those prepared to brave the dangers of battle for the sake of their fellow human beings took up this sacred calling. These brave warriors were granted a new form of their own, but one that would not last. To make room for the next generation, and to safeguard those whose powers might wane with age, their form and abilities would disappear upon reaching 30 years of age. But as long as they had that power within them, as long as they felt the desire to defend the world from evil, they would be known as magical girls. For millennia, magical girls have worked together to protect our world from the forces of malice. While the world at large may never know of them, these hidden warriors have saved countless lives. And for every war, it began with a single question. One that came first in a dream, then once again in the waking world. Do you want to protect this world? I do. Cohen? Huh? You done here? If I don't get my team on the scene soon, CPD is gonna have my ass. Dealing with them on a good day is already torture. I sigh and roll my eyes. The only thing worse than a case I can't crack is one where I have to deal with the cops. But I guess that's par for the course when you're looking for a serial killer. I wish I could just tell them to piss off and let me focus, but a night in jail and a very worried wife are enough to keep me from trying that again. At least Nat is nice enough to let me check out the scene, but that doesn't make up for the dirty looks I get from everyone else here. I guess they're not a fan of some punk doing their job for them. Give me a few more minutes. I want to inspect the body again. Just hurry it up, and for fuck's sakes, wear some gloves this time. Yeah. I can't explain to them why I need to touch things directly to use my powers on them, or why every time I do, I can't help but think of how this all started. It was easier when I was a kid. Back then, all it took was a drop pen to find a consume's lair. Dealing with humans hurting other humans is much harder, not to mention more depressing. Can I have the room for a second? You seriously asking me to leave you alone in a crime scene? Seriously? Yes, seriously. Nat sighs and throws up her hand. She owes me and she knows it. Fine, but if you breathe a word of this to anyone, the next crime scene is gonna be at your house. For all of Nat's bluster, I'll take dealing with her over dealing with actual cops any day of the week. At least she can't get away with attacking me. Which is a lot more than I can say for Chicago's finest. Bunch of pricks. She walks out with a huff, leaving me to work. As soon as she's gone, I remove one of my gloves and close my eyes. My powers of clairvoyance only work on inanimate objects. I was 15 when I first learned that that includes corpses. At least it was a rarity back then, back when I was actually saving lives. Helping people, as opposed to whatever I do now. With a sigh, I reach out. With a sigh, I reach out. With a sigh, I reach out and put my hand on the victim's body. Turn back the clock. Bring the past to me so that I might see the truth. For the sake of the innocent. Visions of the victim's last 24 hours fill my mind. I can't see the finer details the way I could when I was younger, but I'm still able to track his movements and activities through the time period. I call the power Spirit Reflection. Most of the time, anyway. Some days I tend to call it Shitty Clairvoyance instead. It's not an inaccurate name. For starters, I can only see backwards, and even then, it's not nearly as powerful as real clairvoyance would be. All I can do is track an object's movements and positions over the last 24 to 48 hours. If I had the murder weapon on hand, it'd be easy. I could find out where it came from and get a vague idea of who'd held it. There's only so much I can tell from a corpse. I know that this is his house and that he hasn't left home today. I can see him moving from room to room. Then I see him struggling. His movements grow erratic in the living room. He tries to fight back, but it's not enough. My eyes snap open as I yank my hand away, but the image doesn't leave my head. It'll probably be there for the rest of the day. I wipe off my hands and rub my temples, the same familiar questions filling my mind. What am I doing here? Why am I still getting involved why am I still getting myself involved in this shit? I've got a master's degree, for God's sake. I could be working at a hospital. Hell, I could even have my own practice. I haven't been a magical girl for more than a decade, but I'm still getting myself wrapped up in mysteries. And what happens when I lose my powers next year? Am I just gonna screw around in crime scenes and make wild guesses? It's not like these are new thoughts, but they've gotten worse lately. Especially today. It's her day, after all. My enhanced self-doubt is cut short by Nat slamming the door open again, looking at me with annoyance. Time's up. They're sending me and my team in now. Fine by me. I'm done here. Already solved the case and saved the day, Sherlock? Oh, totally. I'll have Moriarty in handcuffs for you by tomorrow morning. She doesn't respond, just jerking her hand towards the door in the universal gesture for get the hell out. I stand up and step back as our usual band of mass forensic guys file into the room. Nat glares at me as I continue to look around, blatantly ignoring her demand that I leave them be. It's not like it's illegal for me to be here, but our team has complained enough about me interfering already. Sherry, I'm not going to tell you again. Fine, fine, I'm going. If the full forensics team is coming in, then the cops are sure to follow, and they'd be all too pleased to make me a scapegoat. I must have some nerve trying to actually solve the crime instead of finding some poor bastard to pin it on. Sure, they don't understand my methods, but I've got a better track record than any of their esteemed detectives. Besides, I'm in no hurry to tell them that my method is being a former magical girl. They think I'm weird enough as is. Not like I care what they think, but still. I don't exactly miss fighting Consumed, but sometimes I feel like I'd rather be risking my life fighting monsters than dealing with cops. At least then I was saving lives, instead of just picking up the pieces. The wind whips against my face as I drive home, but I don't even feel it. I'm too preoccupied with thoughts of getting some rest when I get there. 15 minutes later, I barely make it to the couch before my aching muscles protest. Even though the sore and even through the sore back and knee pain, something about the case I just left doesn't sit well with me. But I can't figure out what it is. It's not like I haven't dealt with a murder before. Hell, I even dealt with multiple murders before. Maybe it's the lack of evidence? Nothing from my powers and nothing from the surroundings. Entry point, murder weapon, any physical indication that someone else had entered the house. None of it. But that's not new either. There are plenty of cases where the cops ruined the scene before I had a chance to get there. My mind keeps turning, checking every possibility before discarding it. Logically, there's no real reason for me to feel so uneasy this time around, but I can't shake the feeling that something's off. Adjusting my microphone position. Eventually, I shut my eyes with a resigned sigh. All I have are maybes, and I'm really sick of maybes. If I could just find one certainty. My train of thought grinds to a halt as I look towards the source of the sudden splashing sound. There's a splashing sound? It isn't rain or anything like it. Rather, it's coming from right outside the door. Hello? I sit up to find a puddle of strange pinkish liquid seeping under the door. It glides across the floor without any trace left behind. If I didn't know any better, I'd be freaking out. Instead, I just sigh. The door was unlocked, you know. You could have just come in normally. A voice emanates from the puddle, a very cute voice. Yeah, but where's the fun in that? As I watch, the liquid comes together into one point and begins to solidify, rising into a pillar before taking the shape of a beautiful woman. Long black hair streams down the newly formed head as the remaining facial features take their place. Keely's eyes open, and her mouth forms into a mischievous smile. There's no way I'm gonna let my last year of shapeshifting pass me by without at least a few pranks. That one's a classic after all. If by classic you mean grossing me out for over a decade, then yes, it certainly is a classic. That's exactly what I mean. I sit up and make room for her on the couch, patting the cushion beside me. Welcome home, baby. I lean my head back as she bends down to kiss me, the warmth of her lips offering welcome comfort. I never really feel at home unless she's here with me. As soon as our lips part, she hops onto the couch to sit down next to me, resting her head against my shoulder and wrapping her arm around mine. We both let out a contented sigh in unison. This is the best part of the day. How was your day? Not too eventful. My Mark was home, so I had to settle for just looking around the place. I think I'll go back for whatever's in his safe this weekend. Wait, you don't know what he's got in there? The guy's one of those rich executive types, so I'm sure it's going to be something good. Besides, finding out is the fun part. It's not always about the money, you know? That's why you're the best in the business, baby. Aw, thank you, sweetie. She gives me another kiss before snuggling closer to me. You'd never be able to tell by looking at her that she's one of the most notorious cat burglars in Chicago. Then again, that's part of why she gets away with it. Of course, being a shapeshifter doesn't hurt either. You make any progress on the case today? I sigh, wishing I could just forget today's visions. This job would be a lot easier if they didn't linger in my mind for so long. Nothing useful, yet another locked grim mystery just like the others. Either this guy's really good or I'm losing my touch faster than I thought. Don't say that, sweetie. There's never been a case Sherlock Cohen can't solve, right? I don't know. It's more than just being stumped. I just feel kind of burnt out, you know? Like, I'm not sure if I even have the energy to see this case through, and putting up with the cops makes it even worse. Keely kisses my cheek. I can tell she's trying to hide the worry in her eyes for my sake, even though she knows she doesn't have to. Maybe you should retire early, honey. I know you're sick of dealing with them, and I've nabbed more than enough to set us up with a comfortable nest egg. I chuckle, running my fingers through her hair and kissing her forehead. And lose my chance to whine to you when I get home? Never. We both laugh at that one before settling into silence. I don't know how I'd make it through the day if I couldn't look forward to cuddling at the end of it. Maybe tomorrow you and I could go over the details of the case again. 2 heads are better than 1. And you know how good I am with murders. Don't say it like that. You sound like a serial killer. I do not. Besides, you know I'm more of a serial thriller. That was awful. Like, really awful. You're just jealous you didn't come up with it first. You'd think that after 12 years her sense of humor would have improved. It hasn't. She's not wrong about being helpful, though. I might be good at putting together evidence in a pattern and drawing conclusions, but she's always been good at seeing the tiny details I might miss without her. I just always feel a bit guilty when I bring her in. She's got her own job, and making her do mine too feels unfair. But maybe that's just me being stubborn. If you need me to break into the station and find out if they're keeping anything from you, I'm more than happy to. It's not like it'd be the first time. That was nearly 10 years ago. With those inflated police budgets, security would be way tighter than it was before. Cameras, more guards, that sort of stuff. And you almost got caught last time, remember? Are you saying that I've gotten worse? No way. I'm just saying that they've gotten better. A lot better. Hey, you never know until you try. I bet I could do it. I give her a kiss on the cheek before shaking my head. What happened to the shy little high school girl that always looked before she leaped? Oh, her? I heard she got a lot less shy when she married a real troublemaker. A troublemaker, huh? The worst kind. I lift my head up and kiss her again, much deeper this time. One of my hands moves to her side, drifting up and down her abdomen. But before I go any further, she pulls away with a frown. We'll have to save this for later, honey. I need to get dinner started before Nina shows up. Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Shit, I'd completely forgotten she was coming over. If I let that slip, she'll never let me hear the end of it. And on today of all days, too. This case must be weighing on me even more than I thought. I've never forgotten about how important today is before now. It'll be good to have her here, though. Maybe it'll be the distraction I need. Even if it is interrupting another kind of distraction. In that case, I should probably go shower. I smell like a crime scene. I like your crime scene smell. And you think Nina would too? I mean, yeah. That's fair. I stand and stretch, letting out a long yawn. Hopefully a little cold water to the face will keep me awake through dinner. I owe her that much. You gonna need any help with dinner? I'll be okay. You can go ahead and clean yourself up. As I head towards the stairs and start to climb up, Keely calls out to me. Hey, sweetie. Yeah, babe? I'm really glad that shy little girl married that troublemaker. You and me both, honey. You and me both. By the time I'm done showering, most of my stress has melted away. I can't fully get the image of the crime scene out of my head, but it only comes in flashes now. The house, the blood, the frantic movements of the victim. Using spirit reflection always leaves me with some kind of afterimage, but at least that helps when it comes to studying details. I towel off and throw on a clean shirt before heading downstairs. As soon as I do, the smell of my wife's cooking banishes those last few lingering flashes. All I can think about now is how much I want to dig into some udon. It's incredible how delicious her cooking has gotten lately. There you are. I was starting to worry that you'd fallen asleep in there. No such luck. After the day I've had, I wouldn't mind a little power nap. She giggles and turns her head towards me, giving me one of those little smiles that still makes my heart flutter before going back to her preparations. God, she's gorgeous. Don't worry too much about being tired. Nina might as well be a natural shot of espresso. Oh, is she already here? Not just yet, but I'm sure she'll show up any second. You know how she likes to travel. Well, hopefully she gives me enough time to do this. I move up behind her, wrapping my arms around her waist and brushing my lips against her neck. She rewards me with a small yelp of surprise before letting out another giggle. Honey, I still have to finish this before she gets here. She can wait. Kisses first. Oh my god, Cher. Can you stop being gay for like 2 seconds so Kiki can get some of that in a bowl? I'm starving. We both whirl around in unison to come face to face with Nina. I sputter and let out a cough, a bit embarrassed about being caught in a moment of sappiness. Aw, sappiness is a cute word. I like that. As we face her, she breaks into a massive grin and lets out a squeal of delight. As always, her excitement is infectious enough to help me get over my initial embarrassment at being caught in the act. Before we have a chance to speak, she bounds over to pull us into a gigantic hug. I missed you both so much. Next time I go on tour, I'm taking you with me. No arguing. Good to see you again, Nina, but maybe you could use the door next time? No goddamn way. As long as I can teleport, I'm never touching a door in my life. I pat her back and she squeezes us even tighter. She's got me grinning now, too. We missed you too. I can't believe how long it's been. 2 years, 73 days, 80 hours, and oh my god, is that a Replicant raid? Thank you so much, Replicant. You were doing some Shadowverse, right? I hope you had a great time with that. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Stroka, the Magpie Treasure Hunting VTuber, and today we are on day 2 of my coverage of the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival. Currently, we're playing Lock and Key, a Magical Girl Mystery. Thank you so much for the resubscription. 26 months. That's over 2 years. That's a little scary. People aren't allowed to be subscribed to me for that long. That's a little worrying. My Valley Girl accent is gone. It's gone. Out of shock. Out of the realization that I have let people subscribe to me for over 2 years now. Wow. Haha. Yikes. But thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good time with the Shadowverse. Are you gearing up for another tournament, or are you just doing some random matches? Let me get back to this here. 2 years, 73 days, 18 hours, and 12 minutes. That's 2 years, 73 days, 18 hours, and 10 minutes too long. Do you seriously keep track of it down to the minute? Oh no, I'm 100% fucking with you right now. You really thought, though. She releases the hug, winking at me with another grin. Went 3-2 in the Grand Prix tonight? Oh, congratulations. Great job. Oops, understandable though. 23 years and you're still falling for the obvious ones. Get it together, Cher. So she keeps track of that one, huh? No wonder I fell for it. Now, Nina, play nice. Unless you don't want seconds on udon, that is. Nina bats her eyelashes and gives Keely the most innocent face she can muster. It's pretty good. I'll be good, Mom, I promise. I'm a year younger than you. Yeah, but you've got, like, big mom energy, you know? Is that a compliment? Duh. I know you two aren't exactly hip to modern lingo anymore, but that one's pretty obvious. You say that like you're not 30. Nina huffs and gives me a goofy scowl while Keely goes back to finishing up dinner. I'm 29, Cher. I still got a month before I turn into an old lady, and I'm gonna make the most of this. All three of us are. Ha 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 ha. Oh. I've been an old lady for 2 years already. Yay. Pressing. Hi, Mal. Welcome back. You just missed an existential crisis. Welcome back, though. So you're staying in Chicago all month, then? You better believe it. I'm off tour for the next 3 months. We are gonna tear this shit up. I don't have to hard to tell her that Keely and I have long since passed the tearing shit up phase. But even if we can't keep up with Nina's speed, I'm sure we'll still have plenty of fun. The way we used to before. Sweetie, could you grab a few bowls for us? Nobody's gonna be tearing up anything on an empty stomach. Nina bolts her to her chair and sits down, vibrating with excitement. I swear she's about to start drooling. I oblige my wife, grabbing us bowls and giving her a quick kiss before settling down. Dinner is served. Keely's cooking is as delicious as ever. Nina certainly seems to feel the same way, eating her way through 2 packed bowls before I'm even halfway through my first. In between mouthfuls, she tells us stories about life on tour, moving from place to place, dealing with crowds of fans, performing in front of hundreds of people. It makes our job seem easy by comparison. I'd probably crash and burn after a few months, but she's been going at it for nearly a decade now. And despite everything, she's still the same old Nina. The Nina I grew up with, still bursting with energy, still driven to stand out from the crowd, and still full of love for us. I've always admired that ambition of hers. Even though I was the only one who she'd known since we were kids, she was still the one who brought us together to form a team. Everyone else was ready to rally around the girl with a big dream and a bigger attitude. Hell, I'm not even sure if I would have been able to ask Keely out without Nina pushing me to go for it. No wonder she got scouted right out of high school. Being a star was her dream, and her dreams always came true. That and the fact that she's got one hell of a voice, too. Although it would be nice if she didn't use it to yell so much when I'm sitting a few feet away from her. It's going very well, Ocean. Hope you're doing okay. Mwah! After we've all had our fill, I head into the kitchen and grab a bottle of whiskey and 3 glasses. Keely and I don't drink very often, but this is a cause for celebration, in one way at least. OMG, you read my mind! Nothing like a little nightcap before I go. You're lucky there are no laws against teleporting under the influence. Oh, please! You act like I'd actually listen to some square's rules. Hell, according to the rules, I was supposed to have dinner with some record label suits tonight. You're not going to get in trouble for blowing them off on our account, are you? Don't worry. It's not like it was anybody that mattered. Besides, being here tonight is way more important than spending a night pretending to care about branding. Nina looks down at her glass, her expression suddenly darkening. Especially tonight, you know? I just nod and start pouring our drinks. We've been dancing around tonight's special occasion since Nina arrived, but I know that couldn't last forever. Keely looks down at the table, swirling her drink and letting out a wistful sigh. How old would she be now? 27? Yeah, it's been 12 years now. Doesn't feel like it, though. It really doesn't. Sometimes it feels like it happened yesterday. Other times it feels like a century ago. Death is strange like that. No matter how much I've seen, I know I'll never get used to it. I raise my glass, and they follow suit. Happy birthday, Ellie. Happy birthday, Ellie. We throw back our drinks, the warm burn of the alcohol a blessing after the chill that filled the room when we said her name. In the moment, it feels like she's here with us, that goofy little smile lighting up the room like it always did. When Keely puts her glass down, I can see a few teardrops streaking her face. I squeeze her hand under the table, and she manages a small smile in response. Nina's stony face, meanwhile, betrays nothing. I silently pour us another round of drinks, muttering a snippet of the mourner's Kaddish. Oshe shalom, bimromanav hu yase shalom alienu. May he who creates peace in his celestial heights create peace for all of us. Amen. After another moment of silence, Nina speaks up with her usual pep. Okay then, I think it's time you told me about that juicy new case you mentioned. It sounds like pretty next-level stuff. I'm sure some people would consider her insensitive for jumping straight into another topic like this, but Keely and I don't mind. It's better than spending the rest of the evening and morning. Helly probably wouldn't have wanted that. Besides, it's not like I don't want her input. That's why I told her about it, right? Looking to flex your detective muscles too, Nina? Hey, I'm an international woman of mystery. I didn't realize catching serial killers was part of the pop star life. Sounds like someone isn't in the know, then. Now, show me those mad investigator skills. I take another sip of my drink before giving her the gist of things. The lack of evidence left at the scene, how there's no tracks to follow, no clear motives or connections between the victims, etc. She'll occasionally climb in with questions about the crime scene details, still drawing from those magical girl instincts. Keely helps me fill in the gaps as well, leaving Nina scratching her head. Damn, that's fucked up. Yeah, no kidding. Does anything in particular stick out to you, Nina? Well, nothing about the crimes themselves, but... She stares at me, fire suddenly appearing in her eyes. Something sticks about how you're investigating them. What's that? The fact that you haven't put your wife's special talent to use. Keely cocks her head to the side, confused. How would shape-shifting help her solve the case? No, your other special talent? Knitting? Oh my god! Nina flings out her arms, waving them up and down in an arc around her. Aura reading? Hello? You can enter a room without leaving a trace and kill someone and leave without leaving behind any evidence in a locked room? A teleporter. Nina would never. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Keely's eyes widen as the significance of what Nina is saying hits us. Oh, of course. Sure, have you even looked for magic at the scene? I mean, let's be real, no murderer can be that good. If they're so mysterious, why not see if they're consumed? Any magic left at the scene would be too faint for either of us to pick up, but Kiki's always been the best of us when it comes to aura. Of course. I spent so many years going after humans that the thought of a consumed killer never even crossed my mind. How could I miss something so simple? I really am losing my touch. Find the aura, find the killer. Easy peasy. That's actually brilliant, Nina. I told you that catching serial killers was part of being a pop star. Maybe we should check that out tomorrow night, sweetie. Do you want to come with us, Nina? Nina laughs, taking one last swig of her drink. No way! That sounds like a perfect date night activity. You two have fun with it. I've got nightlife to enjoy. You can really go to clubs that easily? Aren't you worried about getting noticed? Don't you worry about me, Cher. The paparazzi haven't figured out a way to get around teleportation. Not yet, at least. Keely giggles at that one, and I can't help but cracking a smile too. Anyway, now that I pretty much solved your case for you, I think it's about time I hit the road. My producer is gonna have a heart attack if I don't tell her where I am soon. Don't forget to cut me a check once you get paid for catching this dude, though. You don't want to stay for dessert? We have some cake in the fridge. Nina smiles and shakes her head, standing up and stretching. Save a piece for me, Kay. I'll come by for it when I can. She pulls us both into one more tight hug, as warm as ever. I love you two so much, and don't you forget it. I promise I'll come back real soon. You'd better. I didn't even have a chance to paint your nails. Soon, babe. Cross my heart. Just make sure you let us know before you teleport in here. Married couples need their privacy, believe it or not. She steps away, adjusting her hair and giving us one last wink. No promises. And with that, she's gone as quickly as she had arrived. Keely takes my hand and leans against me, looking at the spot where Nina was standing just a moment ago. She seems like she's doing well. A lot better than she was last time. Definitely, and you weren't kidding. She really is a shot of espresso. So, you're wide awake now? I lean down and kiss her forehead, wrapping an arm around her. Very. Come on, let's go upstairs. I could stand to unwind a bit before bed. Keely raises her head to meet mine, kissing me gently. You don't have to tell me twice. Well, she's a serial killer. She's doing it all as one big send-off to all of them turning 30 and losing their powers. That would be insane. I love it. It's not like we haven't done this before, but I can't quite shake the feeling that we're doing something wrong. I'll have us inside in a jiff. Just watch. Keely's confidence brings a smile to my face, even as we're standing outside a crime scene in the early hours of the morning. I haven't seen an officer on watch, but there's no doubt that one is somewhere close by. Even though we're hidden, I'm still on edge. Don't worry, we'll be in and out before you know it. She squeezes my hand, interlacing her fingers with mine in a gesture that always brings me peace of mind. Whatever has got me so on edge tonight feels a bit further away. Once we're at the front door, Keely's form falls away and she oozes beneath it. A moment later, the door clicks open, and there she is. Told you I could get us in. I never doubted you. She knows I never doubted her, of course. I haven't had doubted her abilities for years now. But the smile on her face makes it clear that she appreciates the affirmation. And if she's happy, then so am I. But as soon as we take a few steps into the entranceway, that smile fades. Keely stops in her track and takes a deep breath. I don't like this. You feel something already? There were definitely signs of a struggle in here, but this isn't where he died. It's faint, but this aura... Something strange. Let's keep moving. I nod, though I'm worried. Keely has such a talent for sensing auras, so it's no wonder that she sensed the dangerous vibe immediately. But even though my senses have always paled in comparison to hers, I should have at least been able to sense something. Have my senses really degraded that much? I know I only have a year until they're gone for good, but even now I should still be able to pick up something if I focus on it completely. Is it because of whatever's strange about this aura? I shake my head, dismissing the conjecture. That's not what matters right now. Instead, I lead Keely to the living room and point out where the body was. It's long gone by now, and the police have cleaned up most of the bloodstains. Unfortunately, it still reeks of detergent. Still, Keely doesn't need to see another corpse. Just because I've gotten desensitized to them doesn't mean that she has. She's always been the more empathetic one. Is this the room? This is the one. He was on the floor near the ottoman. As far as I can tell, he was injured somewhere else and then pursued through the house until he succumbed to whatever was chasing him in here. That's horrible. What a sad way to die. Her foot taps against the floor, betraying an uncertainty I know all too well. It's a telltale sign that whatever she doesn't understand is making her nervous. I step forward and put a hand on her shoulder, hoping to calm her down the way I always do. I don't like being here in the middle of the night, nor do I like putting Keely in danger. But I couldn't say no to her about something this important. Hey, we don't have to stay here if it's scheming you out. We can leave. Keely shakes her head. It's not that, I don't think I felt energy quite like this before. It's new. New? I mean, all consumed are different, but there's something really off about this one. It's not normal. So there's no question about who did this then. Or what. The serious tone in her voice worries me. We've dealt with particularly strong ones before. Not like this. Even the powerful ones felt familiar. The consumed all have familiar energy. The consumed all have similar energy, just like magical girls. But this, it doesn't feel like a consumed. Not entirely, anyway. I grasp her hand in mine, returning the squeeze from earlier. Even if I can't tell what she's sensing, I trust her every step of the way. Keely closes her eyes to think, and the air around her billows in soft, soothing waves. I don't know if it's a side effect of her powers or simply how I feel about her, but it's immensely calming to be next to her while she works. My shoulders sink, my muscles relax, and my head clears. It's magic of a different kind. Whatever this thing is, it's long gone. That much I can say for sure. Spirit Reflection told me the same thing. It's been at least 24 hours, probably more. Keely looks at me confused. No, it hasn't. If that was the case, then the aura would be completely gone by now. Then that must mean it came back. I don't understand. A normal human might return to the scene of the crime, but the consumed are like animals. Why would one go back to the same house they'd already attacked? It doesn't make any sense. Could it have come before the attack, too? Would it be intelligent enough to scout the place out first? No, that's ridiculous. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself here. Just gotta focus on the now. I'm going to check through the other rooms to see if there's anything else I can pick up. You gonna be okay down here? I'll be okay, promise. I'll see if I can find anything I might have missed. Just let me know if you sense anything dangerous, okay, babe? Be safe. Don't you worry about me. I still remember how to kick ass. I know, baby. I know. She trots upstairs, leaving me alone. There's not many personal effects left in the room. Anything that looked to be even remotely useful has been confiscated by the cops. Consumed magical girl. Oh no! It's happening. Doesn't leave me with much to work on other than the furniture. It might not be much, but anything counts. Let's see. I press my hand to the end of the couch, trying to find something, anything of clarity. Visions of a restful morning, a day spent empty, and then a struggle. Something knocks the couch off kilter. I take a moment to rack my brain about what exactly the man was running away from. A shadow? A person? Nothing big enough to nothing big enough to toss a couch around, but big enough to scare this guy senseless. It's no good. I just can't see it. No matter how hard I think, I can't seem to be able to gain any further clarity with reflection. Yet another sign that Sherlock Cohen's detective powers are on their last legs. It's frustrating in the moment, but that thought leaves a part of me feeling relieved. Another sign that it's time to move on from this job. Move on from picking up the pieces, to move on from the obligation this power brings. That doesn't sound bad at all. It'd certainly mean getting a little more sleep, at least. Cher? Keely calls me from upstairs, still doing her best to keep her voice hushed in case the patrolling cop decides to make their way back here. Yeah? What's up? If you're not busy, would you mind taking a look at this? I heave a sigh, giving up on searching for clues on my own. Here's hoping Keely's search has gone better than mine. I head up the stairs, peering through the different rooms of the house until I find her in what looks like a study. Keely stands in front of a row of shelves, looking at something on the top. Hey babe, what's up? This, here. Keely points to a framed photo. Within it are a man and a woman looking happy together. Judging by the hair, the man must be the victim. He looks so different in life. Do you think the girl is suspicious or something? I wouldn't know, but don't you think she looks familiar? I swear I've seen her before. Like, on the street? This isn't too far from home. Maybe you've crossed paths. No, it's not that. Maybe we met them at a party or something? The man in the picture, too, he seems kind of familiar. You don't recognize them at all? Not off the top of my head, no. But now that she mentions it, something about the two people in the photo does seem vaguely familiar. Maybe I solved a case for them or had one of them as a peer reviewer in grad school. No, that's not it. God, this is really bugging me. Me too. I'll at least take a picture of it so we can look over it at home. I haven't found anything else up here, and there's no point in standing around in a crime scene trying to figure out if maybe we had brunch with somebody. Just make sure you don't get your phone confiscated outside. Pictures of stuff in here could potentially be incriminating. Keely chuckles and gives me another confident grin. Sure, Bear, there's more than enough incriminating evidence on this phone as it is. I'm not too worried about it. Oh god, don't tell me you've been taking pics of empty safes again. You can't prove anything. And you say I'm the trouble. Keely raises her hand to stop me, eyes suddenly going wide. Sweetie, can you feel that? It only takes a moment for me to register the sensation. This time, there's no doubt about where this particular aura is coming from. It's consumed, through and through. Where? Keely closes her eyes and sniffs lightly as if she was tracking it by scent. A couple of houses away. It doesn't seem particularly strong, but... Sounds like a job for the current crop of magical girls, then. We should probably head out. I guess so. Keely sighs and looks down at her feet. I know she's still got that warrior instinct, but that isn't what we came here for. Not like it used to be. Sherry, I know that our age, we're supposed to let them take care of it, but maybe we should drop by just to... Suddenly I hear a sharp, piercing scream. It sounds young, too young for us to ignore. Before I can even utter a word, Keely's opening the window and jump outside. I follow suit, dropping to the ground and running after her. I guess she's not the only one who held onto those old instincts after all. Keely leads the charge as we rush towards the spike of magical energy, spurred on by another monstrous roar. All I can do is offer a silent prayer that we'll make it in time. You won't get away with this, fiend! There, down that alley! She skids right and I follow. We don't have to travel far before we see it. A grotesque mask of tentacles and eyes, the entire width of the alley bursting forth from a human torso, two of its appendages in the process of wrapping around its would-be prey. A consumed. Get out of here! It's not safe for you! Despite the creature gaining the upper hand, the girl calls out to us in the familiar protective tone of one of the city's guardians. While it's a bit disconcerting to recognize that the girl is barely a teenager, Keely and I know better than anyone that magical girls can start young. It's not just the outfit that gives away her nature as a magical girl away. It's not just the outfit that gives her nature as a magical girl away. It's the fact that nobody else will be able to prioritize the safety of bystanders when they were in that position. But we're no ordinary bystanders. I glance over at my wife, who looks back at me with a determined smile. Use it or lose it, right? I nod and give her a thumbs up in return. I guess it's time to shake the rust off. Ready when you are. I close my eyes, readying myself for the transformation. Here's hoping I can still remember the words. Keely's hand finds mine, and we begin. For the sake of the world, we will be its guardians. Let our spirit shine through. Don't tell me! The familiar glow passes through my body as I'm lifted off the ground, lights bursting from within me and spreading outward. Our clothes disappear, swiftly replaced by our old uniforms and a cascade of ribbons and magic. I'm surprised it still fits. My revolver appears in my hand as I drop to the ground, my body brimming with power. Prepare to face justice! Keely drops down next to me, her whip snaking out from her hand as she opens her eyes. You will not escape our judgment! We are magical girls! The girl's screams go quiet as she stares at us in disbelief. The consumed, too, is frozen as it looks towards us with surprise. It definitely wasn't expecting two full-grown women to be ready to fight back. Keely charges down the middle, trusting me to follow her strategy. We don't need words to work together. Our minds can align perfectly at a moment's notice. Yet another perk of working with my wife. I dodge to the right towards the wall, jumping effortlessly up to the third floor of the building and landing on the fire escape. The consumed doesn't notice my maneuver, its animalistic mind still focused on Keely as she swings her whip in front of it. I can't see her face, but I know she's smiling. Judgment Cage! Entwine him! She swings her whip straight down the middle, thorns ready to slash the monster's hide, but it doesn't move away. Instead, a sickening laugh erupts as Keely launches her whip forward. It slaps the whip away with one tentacle and shoots another towards Keely with frightening speed, its tip sharp enough to pierce straight through her. Bad move, monster. Very bad move. Keely shifts in an instant, making a hole in her abdomen that the tentacle passes through without so much as grazing her. Get ready to fire! The reduced mass of her torso wraps up towards her arm, extending it forward and flashing the whip past the consume's grasp, right where we want him. When I pull the hammer back, the chamber of the gun fills with brilliant light. 6 shots are more than enough. Keely's whip encircles the monstrous mass. It moves with a mind of its own, binding its tentacles to its chest and tying its legs together. Judgment Cage never fails. Now it's my turn. I fan the hammer as I fire 5 more times, rapidly releasing an arc of holy spheres towards the target. The shots sink into its flesh, filling it with light from the inside out. It manages to let out one more pitiful scream before exploding into brilliantly shining dust. Extermination complete. With its mission accomplished, the gun fades away. It always comes when I need it, but there are times when holding onto it would only make things worse. The last thing this kid needs is for someone to point a gun at her. I hop back down to the alley, landing without a sound. You... The girl is sitting with her back against the wall, eyes wide as she stares at us in shock. It's okay, honey. You're safe now. You're all right. Who are you? I kneel down to her level, offering her a reassuring smile. I don't want to baby the kid, but I know Keely and I both want to help her out. We do what we can. We're magical girls, same as you. We just happen to have a little more experience. I stand, offering a hand down to help her up. After a moment, she takes it and slowly stands up on shaky legs. I'm Sherry. This is my wife, Keely. We used to patrol around Navy Pier back in the day. Would you mind telling us your name? The girl opens and shuts her mouth a few times before finally managing to speak, her voice barely above a whisper as she stares at the ground. Ruby. My name's Ruby. It's very nice to meet you, Ruby. Do you want us to help you find somewhere to sit down and rest for a minute? Or call you a ride home? She nods, leaning against the wall to steady herself. I'd like to sit down. There's a coffee shop around the corner that should still be open. Would you be comfortable going in there with us? We'll understand if you're not. I know we're strangers and all. Ruby finally looks up with us with wide eyes, clearly still in shock. But through that expression, I can still see a muted fire in her eyes. She'll be okay. Even if you're strangers, I know you're not bad people. Bad people don't get to be magical girls. Back later, baby. Have fun. Thanks, Mel. Take care. Have fun with your friends. Oh. Ooh, stretched. The conviction in her voice makes me grin. Rookie or not, this kid's heart is in the right place. A few minutes later, we're back in our civilian clothes and relaxing with our drinks. Coffee's for me and the wife, and a hot chocolate for Ruby. Do you feel any better, honey? Ruby takes a long swig of her hot chocolate and lets out a shaky breath, leaning back in her chair. I am no worse for wear. Thank you for your kind assistance. Her voice seems to have taken on a deeper cadence without warning. I exchange a wordless look with Keely, who gives me the slightest of shrugs. No problem, Ruby. You just take a couple more minutes to relax, and then we'll call you a ride home. You need not refer to me as Ruby, ma'am. I have another moniker I use when speaking with a fellow sister of justice. Do you now? Indeed. Now that we've become more acquainted, you may call me... She moves her arms up in a confusing flourish. Nightshade! Keely and I share an awkward look, trying to think of an acceptable response. This is definitely not what I was expecting. That's a cool nickname. Alias, sweetie. It's an alias. How better to strike fear into the hearts of our enemies than a name that resonates with the powerful energy of the night? Right. Yeah, of course. Powerful energy and all. I think it's a great name, honey. You do? Her voice returns to the high pitch we heard during our battle. She really is just committing to a bit. That's, respectable. Because, like, I spent a lot of time thinking about it and stuff, and I had a bunch of other names I was going to use, like the Dark Moon or, like, the Nightbringer and stuff like that, but I thought this one was the best, so Her eyes go wide again and she clamps her mouth shut, suddenly aware of what she's doing. When she speaks again, her voice is back to her nightshade tone. Anyway, I believe that the nightshade suits me best, and soon all the consumed in Chicago will learn to fear that name. That's very nice, honey. Totally. You've got this. Just make sure you're realistic about what you're ready to take on, okay? If we hadn't shown up, that consume could have seriously hurt you. Or worse. Oh, it was no trouble. I'm certain I could have gotten the upper hand sooner or later. However, having help from some veteran warriors did make things much easier. I try to keep my temper even, remembering just how much of a hothead I was at her age. Every win made it feel easy, like I could take on the world. Till I couldn't. And I don't want that for her, or anyone else. Ruby, we're serious. That consumed was way too strong for you to be taking on alone. How long have you been a magical girl? Ruby mumbles her answer, barely audible over the coffee shop ambiance. It's been, 2 weeks. Or 1.5? Oh boy, that won't do it all. And have you had any prior training? Spent any time with more experienced magical girls? She rolls her eyes, no doubt tired of lectures from adults. I get it. But this is a lot more important than to talk about curfews or whatever it is kids get talks about these days. Well, benevolence taught me how to fight and use my powers. It didn't take long for me to establish myself as a hunter of the night. That's more than enough to slay the consumed, right? Smaller ones, yes, but you weren't dealing with a smaller one, honey. Something like that needs teamwork to take it down. Ruby pouts, looking frustrated. Her nightshade persona slips again. Then how did you learn? You fought them when you were still young, right? When we were still young? I'm only 28. Looks like I'm not the only one trying to keep my temper in check. Keely can get a bit insecure when she's stressed out. I'm sure Ruby didn't mean anything by it, but I'd better mediate things just in case. She just means when you were a teenager, baby. Of course you're still young. Thank you. Keely huffs and takes a long sip of her coffee as I turn back to Ruby. And to answer your question, Ruby, we learned by training. First by honing the skills Benevolence taught us, but eventually we learned new techniques from other magical girls as well. Knowledge is passed down from generation to generation, and then honed with teamwork. That's why magical girls are drawn to other magical girls. The two of us and our friends work together to develop efficient combat tactics like proper positioning, the right balance between offense and defense, and what parts of it consume tend to be weak points. It's all about teamwork. Being a magical girl is a group effort. Surely a team isn't absolutely necessary. Nightshade moves in the shadows and strikes unseen. A team would announce that presence. Plus, I'm not, super great with people. Sometimes. So that's what's going on. I'm sure Keely already noticed as much. She's practically psychic when it comes to figuring out what's really going on with people. Me, I'm a lot slower as a judge of character. Oh, that's nothing to be ashamed of, honey. Believe it or not, I was the same way. Really? Really, I didn't have any friends before I became a magical girl. Just sat in the back of the class in an oversized hoodie and tried not to draw attention to myself. Then Benevolence came to me, just like it came to you, and offered me a chance to do something more with my life. I was nervous about teaming up too, but once I met Sherry and our 2 other teammates, we fell into a rhythm right away. I promise it's not as hard as it sounds. You made the choice to become a hero, so you're already plenty brave. There she goes again. Her pep talks are legendary as ever. Ruby takes a long sip of her hot chocolate and lets out a deep breath. Would you be willing to, help me, maybe? Help you find a team? I mean, we're a little out of the loop when it comes to stuff like that, so... No, I mean, help me be a magical girl? Oy vey. I was afraid she might say that. I get why she'd ask, but... I look over at Keely, hand to her chin as she thinks over Ruby's request. Surely she must have expected the same thing, but she seems more intrigued by the idea than I am. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's in her nature to take care of things, after all. Do you want us to train you? You don't have to, like, give me lessons or anything, but maybe if I were to watch you two hunt or something, would that be okay? Oh, well, about that. We're actually retired. We haven't fought a consumed for years. Sorry, but we're not the hunting type. What do you mean? We just fought one. That was an exception. If we hadn't heard you two nearby, we wouldn't have sought it out. Oh. Ruby looks down, defeated. I can't help feeling like a jerk for shooting her down like that, even if I was just telling her the truth. Maybe you two could at least give me a bit of advice. I'm a fast learner, honest. That way I can catch up on to everyone else. Her voice is quieter than before, still doing her best to show conviction, but struggling to assert herself. Now I feel even more guilty. This is the kind of thing I'd be happy to do when I was her age, but I doubt I could even offer much help now anyway. I look over at Keely to see she still looks even more guilty than I do. When she looks back at me, her eyes are wide and practically pleading. It's like she's asking if we can adopt a cat. I sigh, looking down and then looking back at the kid. Well, I guess giving you a few pointers wouldn't hurt. Ruby instantly perks up. So does Keely. You mean it? Yeah, I think we can do that. I don't remember too much of what we really set in stone back then, but we could tell you about some tactical considerations and weaknesses you can exploit. That sort of stuff. And it would be a good chance to try out that magical girl themed workout regimen I was telling you about. She plays it off like a joke, but a look at Keely's grin tells me how excited the idea makes her. No way does she want to stop at tidbits of advice. She really wants to train her. Training a rookie magical girl. Honestly, that might be just the thing she needs to help her feel better about our time as magical girls running out. I hate to admit it, but a part of me can see the appeal as well. Passing on our knowledge to another generation does sound like something close to closure. Or at least a bit closer to... No sense thinking about that right now. Just need to focus on what's in front of me. I mean, if it wouldn't be any trouble, then... If that's okay, like... I guess lessons might be okay. We could try it at least. Nothing major though, okay? It'll be our very own after-school program. How fun. Ruby makes another strange gesture, no doubt reaffirming her nightshade persona. Indeed! With the wise teachings of my elders, I will gain the strength I need to be a true warrior of the night, a guardian of our fair city. I'm officially making our first training rule that you can't call us your elders. My, mentors? I think that works. Keely nods and takes one last sip of her coffee, finishing it with a satisfied ah. So, shall we make contact using the existing group chat, or we'll be working independently? The what now? Ah, I see. Ruby pulls out her phone and opens up some messaging app I've never seen before. I lost interest in things like that when AIM shut down. Oh my god. So I'm sure there are plenty of apps like that. My fellow warriors of the night have a GC we use to coordinate our attacks on the enemy. I observe rather than participate, but it's quite helpful when it comes to logistics. Or, at least, to ensure none of them interfere with my mission of darkness. So you do know other magical girls? Well, I met one who sent me a link to the chat, but only once. She was nice and all, but she didn't understand my... nature. As Nightshade, I mean. Well, isn't that interesting? It would have been very helpful to have something like that when we were more active. Wouldn't you agree, dear? I shrug, finishing off my coffee as well. It seems like it would just make more sense to just talk on the phone, but what do I know? It's day 3 of the fest. It is day 3 of the fest, but it's day 2 of my coverage of the fest. Apologies for any of the confusion with that. Because I started streaming this week on Thursday, not on Wednesday. I didn't mean to make that as if day anyway. That's all that was. Hopefully I have not confused anybody about the length of the time of the festival. Hey, if it works, then it works. Probably something we'd need a bit to learn, though. Perhaps it would be better to simply communicate via text message then. She puts her phone away, no doubt surprised by our ignorance of whatever app that is. You... you know how to text, right? Yes, I know how to text. Keeley leans over to whisper to Ruby, but she's still loud enough for me to hear. She didn't know until a few years ago. You're kidding! Look, technology isn't my thing, alright? I'm fine with whatever we had back when we were kids. We had text messages, sweetie. Ruby laughs at that one, the shaky uncertainness gone from her voice. Looks like our job is done. Let me give you my number. We can figure out a training schedule soon, okay? Okay. I mean, very well. I look forward to mastering the ways of the night with your assistance. Good to hear it. She's quite the interesting girl, no doubt about it. Odd for sure, but every magical girl is odd at that age. We certainly were. Do you need to call you a ride? I will be fine, ma'am. My home isn't very far from here. Just make sure you're careful on the way home. No more fights, okay? Very well. Even the most tireless of night warriors must rest from time to time. Yeah, exactly. I get up and pay for the three of us, tossing the few bucks I have left into the tip jar. Behind me, Keely and Ruby swap numbers and say their goodbyes. She's always been good with kids. Mom energy, I think Nina called it. And who knows, maybe it'll help her figure out how she feels about having kids of her own someday. It's not like we haven't talked about it before, but never mind. Now isn't the time. Take care, Ruby. We'll see you soon. Keely nudges me and mouths Nightshade. I mean, Nightshade. Take care of yourself. And you as well, my mentors. I look forward to beginning our training post-haste. With a final wave, Ruby leaves the coffee shop and disappears into the night. Well, that wasn't how I was expecting tonight to go. Is that a bad thing? I guess it could have been worse, but I do think I'm done with surprises for the time being. You and me both. I'm gonna be out like a light as soon as we get home. Demi, my goodness, thank you so much for the raid. What were you up to today? You were doing, what is that saying? Eruta. I don't know what that is, but I hope you had a good time with it. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Soroka, the Magpie Treasure Hunting VTuber, and today we are playing through visual novels as part of the Fall in Love Visual Novel Fest. So right now we're doing the demo for Lock and Key, a Magical Girl Mystery. Oh, it's good to see you, Demi. I know it's been a little while since you last streamed, and I hope you are doing well. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Give us honey. I think I may have some honey in my backpack. It might take me a little while to look for it, though. You and me both. I'm gonna be out like a light as soon as we get home. Keely chuckles and kisses my cheek, taking my hand in hers. We chuckle in unison as we step through the doors and start our journey home. Definitely time to be done with surprises for now. Still, for a night when we'd planned to solve a mystery, I feel like we've just been left with significantly more questions than answers, and not just about Ruby. That consumed was dangerous, but there's no way it was the lockroom killer. Something that far gone couldn't even open a door normally, let alone sneak through a locked one. So why did it just happen to show up while we were investigating? Was it drawn to the energy Keely felt? Or could it have been some kind of lure, a distraction meant to pull us away from the crime scene? It's a possibility I don't want to consider. Not just because it's needlessly paranoid and another sign that this case is messing with my head, but because it would mean that there's something larger at play here. Hey, babe? Hmm? That aura you felt at the house, that wasn't from the consumed we just took out, was it? No, it wasn't even close. In fact, it wasn't close to the aura of any consumed I've ever seen before. So, what do you think it was? Something new, and probably something dangerous. I nod, feeling that paranoia spreading through more of my mind. I'm already way too old to be handling cases with magic involved. But something tells me this time I don't have a choice. You've reached the end of the demo. We look forward to the full release. Yippee! This one was really cool. I like it. You've reached the end of the demo. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. We are done with this one. Look at the gallery. Aw. Right, that's just the full-drawn CG scenes. So let's take a look and see when this one launches. Ooh, demo. Hi, Ami. Good to see you. Oh, right. This one, so did I do something dumb? I did. Okay. I'm stupid. Okay. So don't wishlist the game there, please. Wishlist it here. Thanks in advance. That's where the game comes out, actually. I linked you the demo, which, I mean, you can still navigate to the full game. You're smart. I know you can. So this game releases on the 30th of September in approximately 3 days, which is what, next Tuesday? Yup. Damn. Okay. So if you want this one, see this full game, it's coming out soon. Ugh. Just watch me list the demo. No. No, I failed as an influencer. No. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break because I've been talking for an hour straight. Although considering the content of the game, I could say I was talking for an hour gay. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. But no, seriously, I need to rest my mouth. So I'm gonna be back in like 5 minutes. See you then. Welcome back. All right. So, we are moving on to the next game, which is called Princess of World's End. I didn't actually do the thing where I... Silly me. Probably actually remembered to do this. Right. So this is Princess of World's End, a dark fantasy visual novel about a girl named Princess who, through a strange series of events, unlocks a new power that changes her life forever. Guide Princess to help her get her life together, manage her relationships, her addiction, and most importantly, prevent the end of the world. Sounds like pretty heavy stuff. Let's get into it. I don't think the game had or the store page had a content description. We'll see if the like the email had one either. Just want to be sure when I look at this one here. No. Okay. But it sounds like this, so just so people are aware, it sounds like this one is going to talk about drug addiction and similar topics. So let that be a warning to you. You are sensitive about those. All right. Let us increase the text speed a little bit. Oh, we've got voice volume. That's right. This one might actually be voice acted, so I might actually take a break from talking so much. I'm so happy. All right, so this one comes to us courtesy of Wackhole Studios. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wackhole. Apologies. Didn't actually check to see how you pronounce the studio name. Let's get into it, though. Chapter 1. The Awakening. This demo is in an early access version of the game. Content in this portion could change when it is fully released. So keep that in mind. Oh, here we go. Content warning. Here's the content warnings. This demo contains offensive language and discussion of heavy topics such as addiction and overdose. So keep that in mind. The rain pours down into the ocean, filling it with itself and becoming part of something so much greater. Raising it to greater heights, it offers a salty taste to the gods in the night sky. Where do we go when we die? The ocean cries out to the sky above. Only time will tell. The sky responds, looking down upon its tiny child throwing a temper tantrum. This is no ordinary day in the Atlantic. Something sinister is abound. The waves rarely behave this way. Sirens blare from the crashing waves and foreboding atmosphere. 'Tis but a sign of things to come. There is no happiness here. All humans must drown. No life, no love. Doesn't make a difference to the ocean. More food for the fish. It loves those who inhabit it. Not appreciating foreign invaders, it remains steadfast in pushing those without the ability to reside away. In the woods, the rain was more peaceful. The pitter-patter of the raindrops rest on the leaves and fall towards the ground. Burrowing into the dirt, the rain sleeps until it is called forth to the sky once again. Little did the rain know what it was in the presence of. In this particular forest lies someone very special. You, but to be more specific, what you are to become. Never mind that. These details are meaningless, for this is a tale of a princess in a doomed world. No happy ending awaits her. No happy ending awaits anyone on this rock in the solar system. The princess sleeps soundly in the forest. The princess knows not what surrounds her. You are the princess, a sleeping beauty waiting to regain cognition. Wake up, dear princess. Enter her name. Name? We could call her Soroka, but let's just call her Princess. As you attempt to move, you find that you cannot do so. Numbness has taken over. Your body feels as if it is a statue. The only feeling comes from the tips of your fingers. Everything lacks such a feeling. Guitar Princess. Oh, we could have been Guitar Princess. That's true. You begin to panic. The feeling returns. So cold, so wet.
Where am I? How did I even get into a situation like this?
I am going to go into the settings and adjust down the music a bit. There we go. I'm also going to take this opportunity to make a save.
Wait, I remember now. It was those guys at the damn rock show last night. They must have laced this shit. I've never taken Numex and had side effects this severe.
You move your eyes around, looking for your purse, but it is nowhere to be found. This means your cell phone, wallet, and other belongings are gone. The only thing they left behind was an empty bottle of pills. You don't recognize the brand.
As if things couldn't get any fucking worse for me right now. They must have stole my purse when I was unconscious. Guess I'll deal with that situation later. First, I need to stand up and get out of the rain.
You are able to slowly stand up and move under the cover of the trees. Everything is in so much pain. Your head is pounding. It feels like it is about to explode. Moving about in a rainstorm in the forest is probably not the smartest idea. Let's take cover and wait for the rain to end. You decide to sit down and wait for the rain to stop before trying to go home. Being able to make that journey right now doesn't seem very realistic. Numbness, current state, numb, 80%. Uh-oh. My progesterone.
This rain would never end. Thank goodness.
They spiked my progesterone. After a long time of waiting, the rain comes to pass. Your body is extremely cold. You cannot feel your skin at all. You won't last much longer out here in the cold night. After walking for a couple of hours, you begin to see the outskirts of town in the distance. It is very relieving to finally see civilization again.
Only a little further until I can make it home. I can do this.
You give yourself some motivation to continue along. However, the truth is, you are at your limit. In the back of your mind, you know that you still have a long way to go before you get to your final destination. As you walk through the countryside, you notice a house that still has its lights on. It looks as if it is a small older home, one that has seen a lot of history.
I hate to be this person, but I really need help right now.
People who live on this side of town are usually really nice. It is part of the culture out here to help people when they're in need. Even though Virginia is pretty far north, a lot of people here still held on to those traditional southern values, especially those that live in rural areas.
Might as well knock and see if they're willing to help me out.
A little time passes, then you hear a resident beginning to move. Someone approaches the door from the inside.
Sorry to bother you so late. I was walking back to the city and got caught up in the rain.
To the city? Well, that's a long walk late at night. You're welcome to take a rest inside my house. I will try and help you out the best I can.
The woman's house looks just as well lived in as the exterior. Everything seems like it is well loved and well used. She looks you up and down with a concerned look on her face.
My goodness, what is a pretty thing like you doing walking in the rain on a Sunday night?
It's a long story I would rather not talk about right now if I'm being honest.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be pushy. I was just curious is all. My name is Samantha. I will go get you some towels and blankets. If you need anything else, please let me know.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. You can call me Princess. Let's just say it's a nickname that was earned, not given. I'm not really a big fan of my birth name anyway, so it was bound to stick.
Well, that sounds interesting, Miss Princess. Tell me more when I come back, okay?
Oh, wait. Oh, I really hope that's not going to lead to any confusion with the name that I entered, being Princess. Sure, it's fine. Samantha is heading towards another room in the house. She moves slow, not because of her physical health, merely just to show she trusts you. It seems like she will be gone for a while, judging by how far she walked and how slowly she moved. Can I stand here and try to stay calm? Do I have what it takes with me to be patient?
I can't lie to myself. I'm fiending, but I also have to control it.
Your addiction rips into you for neglecting it. You do not give in this time, but this is one battle in a long war. Eventually, you will be outnumbered. Only through incredible odds and dedication could they be overcome. Unrealistic goals lead to unrealistic outcomes. You must fight through unrealism. Samantha hands you some towels and a blanket. This will help with the cold, but another problem still persists.
You wouldn't happen to have any painkillers, would you?
I'm sorry, honey. I stopped using that stuff a long time ago. There's something I have that will help you out much more than a pill.
Samantha? Where are you?
After waiting a while, you start to get worried she may have dozed off or something. After you call her name, you hear her beginning to approach. You hear her footsteps approaching. Seems like she heard you and is coming back.
Looks like you're awake now. Here, these will help you dry off.
Samantha hands you an immense amount of blankets and towels. She must have collected many over the years. She seems to have a hard time letting things go.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I was busy fetching some medicine to help you out.
Don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're still awake.
It looks like the pills have taken a toll on you, honey.
Wait, how did you know I was on pills?
Well, let's just call it intuition from someone with a similar experience in their past. You came to the right person. I can help someone like you. But first, I want you to hear my story.
Yes, of course.
Samantha begins the story talking about her upbringing. She was born and raised in South Carolina in a small beach town. Things were simple and she was happy. After graduating high school, she married her high school sweetheart. Life was going smoothly so far and nothing could get in her way. Things were not always simple, though. Complications began to arise. Around 10 years ago, Samantha's husband was injured at his job working construction. He went to a pain clinic and they prescribed him medicine for it. Little did he know the immense consequences this little prescription would have. His tolerance grew higher and higher, and so did the quantity of his prescription. 5 years after his first pill, Samantha's husband would overdose and die. Samantha had picked up on the habit as well, but swore to stop once her husband passed away. Doctors turned their back on Samantha. Once she stopped taking the pills, she was no longer a profitable customer. Even though Samantha had stopped taking the pills, her addiction persisted. Deep down, she knew she would relapse eventually. The pain in her heart couldn't be filled with anything but pills, not that she had any other option. Instead of relapsing, Samantha took matters into her own hands. She is able to find a way to create medicine to help her addiction symptoms. Though she was very vague on the details, she promised that she will tell you more when she can trust you. Finding this information is also what led her to move to Virginia. Apparently, this is one of the very few areas in the United States that all the needed ingredients can grow.
I'm so sorry. You've been through so much. Losing someone to addiction isn't something I would wish on my worst enemy.
It is still the most difficult thing I have ever been through in my life. The past is the past, though. Nothing I can do to change it. What I can do is change the future.
Is that why you started creating your own medicine?
Yes, but I can't share it. If they find out, then they'll prosecute me for distribution of illegal drugs.
An awkward silence fills the room. You can tell this is a battle that Samantha has been fighting in her head for years. The reality is that anything that cuts into the profits of modern medicine will never be promoted or allowed to exist. Any threat will be outlawed or exterminated by the greater forces of capitalism. Money over morals is a lesson learned through hard-earned experience, not just from her, but from many others like her.
Even if I cannot publish my discoveries, that doesn't stop me from being able to help people like you. I want you to have a sip of this, as long as you promise to keep this a secret between us.
Samantha walks over and picks up a strange-looking green liquid in a small bottle that she had set down on a nearby table. As she presents it to you, it gives off an incredible aura. You can tell that it took a lot of effort to create.
Sure thing. I trust you, Samantha. I won't tell a soul.
You begin to drink some of the medicine. It tastes very strongly of earth. You can feel the many different herbal ingredients flow smoothly down your throat. Your body relaxes like it never has before. You begin to feel as if you were being pulled into a dream which becomes more and more vivid with each passing moment. You open your eyes and are suddenly blinded with an incredibly powerful light. It seems you are in a cave of some sort, filled with crystals illuminating it. Seeing out of the exit hole is impossible, but you can hear the rain coming down outside. Hydrate, stretch, reminder, okay. I will also drink the green potion. Except I'm out of green potions, I'll just drink water. Good to see you, Goblin. Hope you're doing well.
Where am I? What is this place?
As you turn around, you see the body of water is even greater behind you. This place gives off a mysterious aura. It is hard to describe exactly. It almost feels as if you are being watched by a higher being of some sort.
It's really hard to tell if this is just a crazy dream or if this is really happening. Either way, I need to get out of here. This place kind of gives me the creeps.
After exiting the cave, you see a long path going into some mountains covered with forestry.
What is going on? This can't be real.
The rain is even colder in this place than the forest you woke up in before heading to Samantha's. Although that world seems like a faraway place from wherever you find yourself now. Rocks float in midair above you as if held up by some supernatural magical force. With no other options, you follow the path into the mountains. You enter the dark forest and attempt to take cover under a tree to stay out of the rain. The thought of being stuck here forever begins to cross your mind. Normally, you could find shelter somewhere in a rainstorm like this, but not now. The place you have woken up in is so far from your reality that you don't know what to do. All of a sudden, you freeze in position without even thinking. Something is surely watching you now. You can just feel it. You attempt to silence your panic breathing and calm down. Whatever is close by should leave you alone if you don't alert it. Uh-oh. Run away! You quickly run away and try to lose the creature. However, it is somehow able to trace your scent even in the rain. No matter where you go, it catches up. It seems like there is nowhere left to run. The creature finally catches sight of you and does not hesitate for a moment. It immediately changes direction and begins to pick up speed. The kill is within sight. No need to hold back now. Okay. Oh no.
Where? Wait, I remember now.
Oh wait, autosave. Okay, there we go. Load. Okay. Alright, fine, fight. The veins in your head begin to rush as blood starts flowing rapidly into your eyeballs. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that for the whole thing. Every hair on your body stands up as it feels like your skin begins to peel off. You feel heat radiating from your skin's surface like a star being born in the night sky. Nothing is the same anymore. This is only the start. Time freezes. Your body begins to float in the air. Pain, fear, anxiety, paranoia, these feelings are amplified beyond the maximum of which you thought possible. However, as you realize this, your feelings are quickly replaced by something greater, something bigger than yourself. They are no longer trapped inside of your head. They are being channeled throughout your entire body. You are tired of being the victim, tired of not being in control. The feeling of despair begins to change into something else, something more useful. Anger, hatred, these feelings you have long suppressed begin to resurface. The power growing within you gives you the confidence to finally fight back.
I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Well, what are you waiting for? Come at me already.
Taya. Okay, never mind. Responding to your taunt, the creature begins to attack. You can tell that there are no thoughts behind those eyes. It is acting on its nature. Just like you, it is controlled by the power it wields. It is inevitable that it will attack a greater power that threatens it. The creature's hind legs shove the earth, propelling it forward. It is as if you can see it moving in slow motion. Your perception has become inhuman. Judging by its speed, it is no match for you, merely a test to see your true capabilities. With this power, you can obliterate it without a second thought. As if by instinct, you begin to concentrate your energy. Your newfound power begins to flow through your body and into your hand. Almost as if opening a faucet connected to a massive body of water, you feel an almost unlimited supply attached to you. Whatever power you are channeling is nothing compared to the greatness of its source. The creature approaches, slowly but surely, violently running at you before you can release the attack. Little does it know that its fate has already been decided. You feel your veins begin to pulse, almost as if executing a pre-programmed command. It is not just the power you are channeling, but also the knowledge of how to use it.
Say goodbye, you furry fuck.
A black bullet flies out of your hand and cuts through the air at the speed of light. Even with your ability to see the events around you as if they are happening in slow motion, you can barely keep your eyes on this attack. It surges with power and seeks to destroy anything in its path. The attack instantly tore through it like a speeding bullet going through a paper target. The creature is frozen in place, unable to move a muscle. You can see the look of terror struck on its face as it realized this was the final moment it would be alive. Just as quickly as the battle started, it was over. Taking a life with no remorse, this is not something you thought you would do. But something else seems to be influencing you. You aren't fully in control. Murder is all you can think about. The pain is overwhelming. You feel a new part of you deep inside awakening, a part that should never have been born. Many voices in your head hurl commands at you with one thing in common: destruction. Use your overwhelming power. Use it to destroy the wrong things in the world. However, the voices begin to get quieter and quieter. The silence finally allows you to think again. Just as quickly as the creature was killed, it vanishes from this world. So many unexplainable things happening at such a rapid rate. Your negative thoughts begin to rush back into your brain, going back home to where they belong. As you look down, you can see that you are slowly transforming back into your original form. You are right back where you started, in a forest, in the rain. All alone, just as you have always been, with a feeling of dread and solitude overwhelming you. The darkness inside of you begins to vanish and is replaced by sorrow as your power fades away.
I can't do this anymore. I give up. Guess I'll be stuck in a goddamn forest for the rest of my life. In whatever fucked up world I've somehow ended up in.
I've become so numb. Suddenly, you feel a mysterious energy surround you. Everything begins to fade away once again. It seems your prayers have been answered. Although you have not returned to your home, but have been transported to an even more unexplainable place than you were before. You stand inside of a massive castle. Judging from the silence, it seems devoid of any people. However, everything is far too clean for it to be abandoned, so where is everybody?
You are incredibly powerful, I must say.
You feel a ghost-like presence as they step out in front of you after watching you from behind. Usually you are really good at detecting people around you, but they completely took you by surprise. Something about them seems completely inhuman. You can't put a finger on what makes you feel this way. It's more of a gut feeling.
Just curious. What type of magic was that?
Magic? Is that what I was doing?
You don't know about magic? That must have been your awakening then.
They begin to look flustered and fall silent for a moment. You can tell they are processing a lot of different thoughts, deciding on the best course of action.
Firstly, my name is Kusanohime. I'm the goddess of vegetation and am responsible for governing all life on Earth. Secondly, you have a lot to catch up on. I'm going to guide you to my sacred library to do so.
Kusanohime walked through the hallway behind you into a large corridor. They walk in a hurry, though you don't see any reason you have to be in one. You're just happy you aren't getting attacked or rained on. At this point, you will take whatever you can get. You aren't going to ask any questions. Kusanohime walks over to the desk on the right side of the room. They grab a book from inside one of its drawers and then walks over to you.
Looks like your spiritual energy is low. You do not have much time left to remain in this world. Before you return to where you came from, I want you to absorb the knowledge of this book I wrote. It will teach you the basics and we can go from there.
Kusanohime uses some sort of magic, and the book begins to emit a strange light. As you look into it, your vision fades away. You begin to have a flood of knowledge enter your brain. When a world is first created, So too is a place called the Spirit Realm. Although it exists in a separate dimension, it is connected to the life on its original planet. The gods and spirits of that world reside in the Spirit Realm, and they govern all aspects of it. The Spirit Realm for Earth used to be vibrant and full of life. That was until the Void arrived. The Void arrived to Earth's Spirit Realm around 2 years ago, shrouding it in darkness. With its first arrival, it brought an army of evil spirits with which it waged war with the Divine. Oh, oh, oh. I have to say, I'm going to have to send them an email about proper use of it is. With it is. Quick reminder for all of you in chat. Whether you're wondering whether to put an apostrophe in its or not, if you can say the word it is instead, then you put the apostrophe. If it's possessive, like it's apple, no apostrophe. Cool fun tip for everybody. One by one, the gods of this world were captured and fed to the Void, being farmed for their spiritual energy. The only god who survived was Kusanahime, who went into hiding and assumed the role of all the gods in their absence. The Void is an evil spirit that has the power to travel to different spirit realms and consume that world's spiritual energy. Once it consumes enough energy in that planet's spirit realm, it then transports itself into the real world. This requires an incredible amount of energy and takes many years to do so, but once it happens, all life is instantly consumed. Once it sucks a planet dry, it moves on to the next in an endless cycle. The Void here on Earth is nearing completion, meaning that unless it is defeated, it will destroy all life on Earth in approximately 6 weeks. No planet that has ever been infected with the Void has survived or been able to destroy it.
As you can see, things are not looking good at all. But not all hope is lost. I've been hiding in this underground secret base to analyze the Void and may have found a weak point. If I can train you to use your power to its fullest capabilities, then it should be possible to take it out.
Why me? You seem like a pretty capable magic user yourself.
The truth is, I can't use any combat magic. My specialty is in other areas. I don't think it makes me any less of a magician. I'm not insecure about it at all.
Kusano looks very nervous for some reason. Probably best not to push the issue.
You are the only one left who can fight it. All the other spirits and gods who have tried have been consumed by the Void.
I see. So I should return here to train whenever I get the chance.
You took to your new deity with ease, honestly.
Give yourself time to recover. Being in this place as a human takes a toll on your body. If you want to maximize your training, come back once a week. At least in terms of time on your planet.
So at most we get something like 5 training sessions before the world is destroyed? That's not going to be a lot of training. As Kusano says this, you notice parts of your body are starting to fade away.
Looks like your time here is up. Return in 1 week's time and we will begin our training.
Your vision fades away as you begin to drift between this place and another. Do you want to save? I think that would be a good idea. Return. Monday, August 26th, 2004. As you awaken, your body feels like you ran a marathon in your sleep. Your head is pounding and your body is very slow to respond. The clock on the wall above you shows that it is 8 in the morning. You must have slept here all night. You remember your incredibly strange dream, or was it a dream? Well, it had to be, right? The couch you have awoken on is incredibly comfortable, which makes it hard to get up and get going. It sure is nice to wake up somewhere that isn't the ground. The pillows make it feel like you are floating in midair. You cannot stay here forever, though. Your destiny awaits you. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. The only way to change that is an outside force. You push yourself up and get your day started. You wander into the living room, still foggy in the head from a very rough night. The lines between dreams and reality are barely real at this point. It feels like I'm floating around and watching myself from a third-person perspective.
Good morning, little Miss Sunshine.
Samantha walked up behind you without your notice, causing you to jump back in surprise. Your sleepy thoughts got in the way of your senses.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to startle you. I was just checking up on you is all.
It's okay. I have just been really jumpy lately. It's not your fault.
Looks like the remedy had a very strong effect on you. Your side effects are a lot worse than mine were.
So, Samantha, did you just develop LSD? Or did you also shoot a werewolf in the heart after engaging in a spirit trip? Is that just something that happens to everyone who takes your green potion?
Side effects? What are the side effects?
Well, the normal ones are minor muscle fatigue and drowsiness, but instead it knocked you out cold.
I had the strangest dream ever. Must have been the medicine at work then.
Hopefully, since the side effects were stronger, the medicine will be stronger as well. You will still have cravings, but they will go away as long as you take a dose once a week and stay off the pills.
You nod in agreement to stay off the pills, but something still seems wrong. It feels like you are forgetting something important.
Oh shit! Today is my first day at work! I totally forgot! I gotta go. My shift starts in an hour, but if I run, I should be able to make it.
Oh no! Hurry up and get out of here then. Come back sometime next week for another dose.
You give her a thumbs up and then rush out of the house. Samantha waves goodbye out of her front window. She remains very friendly towards you, even with your very odd behavior. It seems she really does understand the pain you are going through, at least to an extent. You make a mental note to come back to her house next week. You are able to quickly run through the outskirts of town and into the city. Although your body is in immense pain, you push through to make it on time to the coffee shop. You were in shock you even got hired in the first place, given your horrific resume and lack of any good references. The pay is good enough to pay your apartment's rent, and you even make tips on top of that. If it wasn't for this job, you're most likely going to get evicted soon. You make it to the coffee shop, appropriately named Coffee, with minutes to spare. I think the intention for using these backgrounds was that you put a name of the coffee shop, like Jones Coffee or something, because it's the word coffee is pushed down so low. I'm fairly certain that's the intention. The shade from the tall buildings nearby provides some much-needed cooling. The summer heat is in full effect this time of year. Looking in the window, you see a reflection and are horrified. It looks like you were hit by a truck and fell in a puddle of mud. You take a moment to fix your appearance up as best as you can before walking in. As you enter the shop, the strong smell of fresh coffee fills your nostrils. The coffee shop is full of many different kinds of people, young and old, wealthy and poor. This environment is much different than when you were here for a job interview during after hours. You see an employee walk up to you from behind the cash register. He approaches you with a friendly yet serious expression. You can tell he takes this job and this shop seriously, although you don't get the sense he's a serious person at heart. Seems to be more of a trait inherited by circumstance rather than something that comes natural to him. Outside of his interesting personality, he is also pretty nice to look at. Maybe that is why you were thinking about him so much.
Excuse me, miss. I just wanted to let you know that this is a safe space.
Thanks. You look around for a moment and notice a number of homeless people with small cups of coffee. It seems like this place acts as a sort of safe haven for people that have fallen upon hard times. He must think you are coming here because you are one of them. Well, he isn't entirely wrong.
Sorry, I'm not homeless or anything. I'm actually a new employee. Today is my first day. I had a really rough night and had to run here to make it on time. But I am here and ready to work.
I apologize. It's just that, well, never mind actually. My name is Xavier. I actually was assigned to help you with your training today.
Nice to meet you. You can call me Princess.
You can tell this catches him off guard for a moment. It's clear that he is trying not to laugh in order to appear professional. It is also clear that he isn't doing a very good job of doing so. He begins to walk towards you with a newfound perception.
Princess? Really? How did you end up with a name like that?
Let's just say it's a nickname that was earned, not given. Ever since I was a kid, people have told me I'm really high maintenance, so they started calling me Princess. I'm not really a big fan of my birth name anyway, so it was bound to stick. Don't worry, I will be a low-maintenance employee and save my princess-like behavior for outside of work.
Oh, I wasn't worried. You can be as much of a princess as you want as long as you do your job well. That reminds me, you should meet with Cassandra in the staff room. I'll show you where it is.
As you walk into the staff room, you immediately see a woman named Cassandra sitting at a table half asleep. It seems like you aren't the only sleep-deprived person in this coffee shop. She is completely unaware of your entrance, but she also kind of looks at peace that way.
She has a bad habit of dozing off whenever she is on break in here. Don't hold it against her. And don't try to talk to her before her alarm goes off. Just trust me on that one.
Xavier has a fearful look on his face and makes no attempt to bother his manager during her break. Seems like he probably has experience trying to get her to wake up forcibly in the past. Judging from how he is acting right now, it is safe to assume that it did not go well at all.
Alrighty, time for me to get moving.
The girl suddenly jolts awake after a few seconds of her alarm going off. Her energy is unmatched, no wonder she is the manager of this place. You are conflicted. On one hand, it is rather responsible for her to set an alarm before dozing off. On the other, it seems unprofessional to sleep at work, especially as the manager. Although her first impression wasn't the greatest, she is defying my preconceived notions of her. What's with the perspective changes? Because everything... Oh, usually everything is written in the second person, but like I've noticed that. And I don't know if this is just like a mistake or whether it's intentional. Whether it was just something that wasn't caught in formatting.
You must be the new employee. My name is Cassandra. Nice to meet you.
Cassandra jumped up out of her sleepiness and brightened up immediately, showing off her infectious smile. She has a certain aura of positivity that seems to touch the hearts of those around her, including you. People like this usually annoy you, but since she is your boss, you choose to let it slide. And keep an open mind, at least for now. It also helps that she is undeniably beautiful.
Yes, she told me people usually call her Princess, which she prefers.
Aw, that's so cute! Welcome to the coffee shop, Princess. I'm the manager here, so I'll be showing you the ropes today. Xavier, could you back out and cover the front? I will take it from here.
Xavier hurries back to the busy coffee shop after giving you and Cassandra a reassuring smile. As he leaves, Cassandra approaches you with a confident look on her face.
We are a bit understaffed, and the shop is busy, so a lot of your training will be learning while doing. Is that okay?
That works for me, I guess.
Great! I'll teach you the basics of the cash register. That's where you'll start.
What happened to that dude who interviewed me? I think his name was Doug or something like that?
Oh, him? Yeah, we had to fire him last week after we caught him stealing money from the cash register.
I wonder why she got the job.
Your first lesson of training is to not be like Doug. I will teach you some more lessons on the cash register. Follow me.
Cassandra gives you a brief tutorial on how to work the register in the system of the coffee shop. It seems simple enough. First you take the customer's order and write it on a slip, which gets hung up behind the counter. Then you punch in the totals, and so then you punch in the total into the register and take the customer's payment, as Xavier or Cassandra make the drink.
All right. Are you ready, Miss Princess?
Yeah, I've worked the register at some of my past jobs. I feel pretty confident.
Be careful, though. Some of our customers can be very difficult and will get very angry if you mess up their order.
Oh my god. I worked in a coffee shop for like 9 months. And this is very true.
That's okay. Difficult customers aren't anything new to me either.
Perfect. I'll have you start with this customer. Don't be afraid to call me or Xavier over if you have any questions.
A difficult-looking customer approaches.
Welcome to coffee. Can I get a name for the order?
The name's Martha, not that you would care. You got anything good here? I don't usually trust any coffee outside of my usual shops in the Bronx.
Well, you can take a look at the menu. I am here if you have any questions.
Martha looks very irritated as she glances over the menu momentarily. I don't like any of this liberal bullcrap. Just get me a coffee, New York style. Okay, Martha. 5 shots of espresso, hold the milk, and then give me some cream of whip on the side with some espresso beans that are also on the side. Just raw espresso? Sure, okay, whatever. Customer's always right. Actually, could I do whole milk? And actually, 5 seems a lot. Just let me do 4. Also, I decided I want the milk on the side as well. Actually, no milk, please. It will only make my stomach hurt. Alright, time to write down the order. What was on the side? It is cream of whip. God damn it. Cream of whip and espresso beans. What kind of milk? No milk. How many espresso shots? 4.
All right. I will have that coffee ready for you shortly.
You begin to help out the other customers in line as Xavier creates the complicated order for Martha. After Xavier finishes the order, they give it to you and call it the order number. Well done! You actually got my order right! Martha hands you a $5 bill and walks off with a smile on their face. You pocket it while Xavier and Cassandra aren't looking and continue assisting other customers. Woo! Drug money! A difficult-looking customer approaches.
Welcome to coffee. Can I get a name for the order?
Greg. I need something strong today. I just got done with a 17-hour unpaid shift with my blue-collar brothers in arms.
Well, you can take a look at the menu. I am here if you have any questions.
Greg begins to grip his belt and squint at the menu with a confused look on his face. What in the goddamn hell is an Americano? I swear this country is going to hell with all this European bullshit. I guess giving it a... What in the goddamn hell is an Americano? I swear this country is going to hell with all this European bullshit. Let me just get a dark roast with some hazelnut creamer and 3 packs of sugar on the side. Actually, ordering creamer that has nut in it sounds kind of gay. Let me just do half and half instead. You know what? Screw it. Ain't nothing wrong with being a little fruitcake as long as you voted for Bush. Jesus Christ. Let me get hazelnut, but this time make it an extra dark roast and add another pack of sugar on the side. Hazelnut. What kind of coffee? Extra dark. How many packets for?
Thank you for your business. I'll get to making that coffee right away.
Begin to help out other customers in line as Cassandra creates the complicated order from Greg. After Cassandra finishes the order, they give it to you and call it the order number. Well done! You actually got my order right. Greg hands you a $5 bill and walks off with a smile on their face. You pocket it while Xavier and Cassandra aren't looking and continue assisting other customers. Drug money. I think we're gonna go ahead and save it there for now. I'm curious to know what like the num system is about. I wonder if I can look on the store page about something like that. Let's see. Doom 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 doom. No. I'm not sure if it is intended to be like a just game over thing. We know the game does have game over paths, so it is entirely possible. But yeah, interesting concept for a story. Definitely think that the script needs a little bit more proofreading. But that was pretty neat. Oh, I think it's time for another break, and then we'll move on to the final. Oh, the final visual novel for the night. I shall return in a little bit. See you then. welcome back. Let's get started with our last visual novel of the night, which is, I should make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Hi, Fizz. Good to see you. Last visual novel of the night is called Rottenroots. In this haunting visual novel, you become Salem, torn between forbidden love and regime loyalty. Make split-second decisions that transform his personality into a solar punk dystopia. With multiple paths and endings, your choices define who Salem becomes in a world where being different is dangerous. Sounds interesting. Let's get to it. There we go. Boom. Welcome to episode 1, as this is our first game as a small indie team, and we're thrilled to share this free demo with you. We are actively expanding the story and adding polish, so thank you for joining us on this journey and being patient with us as we grow. Most importantly, have fun and enjoy meeting our characters. I shall do exactly that. I'm going to just adjust the volume down a little bit. Turn up sound effects a little bit, maybe? Or not? Also, we have voices. Resolution! How do I... Oh, I use arrow keys? Unexpected. Text speed increase, language filter... No, we don't need language filters here. Okay, looks good to me. How do I get out of here? Escape? Yes. Is this rendering it? I don't know. Let us start it off. Trigger warning. Rottenroots contains themes of discrimination, violence, and mortality that some players may find disturbing. There's your warning. So if that is... Sorry. I realized I forgot to change the pinned message. There we go, we're good. So if that sounds like it would be distressing for you, no worries. But for everyone else, let's continue. The game explores difficult psychological content and is recommended for mature audiences. You're all mature, so let's continue. This is a story about Salem. Over the next 3 days, you will shape who he becomes. What came before, and where will it lead? That's for you to decide. 2 key moments at school shaped his past. Choose wisely. Shall I make Salem a theater kid? Of course we're going to make him a theater kid. Salem performed in numerous plays with the theater club, learning to embody different characters and express complex emotions on stage. Salem was also part of... what else would he be part of? Occult or fencing? Let's put him in the fencing club. Salem mastered the art of fencing, learning to read opponents' moves and strike with precise, calculated attacks. One last thing. If you're new to Salem's world, would you like me to explain unfamiliar terms as they come up? Or would you prefer to piece things together from context? Well, I think for the purposes of this, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Oh, it's in the sound effects. That's not where it's supposed to be. Okay, alright. For the sake of this stream, we will... Please explain terms when they appear. Understood. I'll provide context when Salem encounters something that might need clarification. Episode 1. The overseer's chest grows red as it raises its gun at Salem. Please, I need to get to that train. Salem double-checks his pockets but can't find his ticket. Departure of Petal Wind 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 4 minutes. This is a high-security platform. Only individuals with a valid ticket are permitted here. I must have lost it. Only 4 more minutes. Mr. Overseer, sir, my father ordered your creation. We are practically family. Storm Oak Manual Overseer, entities deployed by the government to maintain order. The Overseer doesn't react. Just joking, but my father really is Matau Stonkla, the Minner of Technology. Ring any bells? The Overseer declines. He is right over there on that train. Let me just get him. He will explain. Salem tries to squeeze past the guarding Overseer, who is blocking his way. The Overseer starts glowing red as it charges its gun. Please, he needs me! Blossom brightly. You have a death wish or something? The Overseer shifts its glowing weapon to the girl. With a flick of her hand, she shows her ticket. Overseer X734, Emergency Protocol 77 Alpha. Temporary security override, duration T 10 seconds. The Overseer lowers the gun, allowing the girl to pass. So, you coming? How she did that? How did you do that? That will have to be a secret. So, you coming? Let's go, follow the mysterious girl. Salem quickly follows her to the train. Blossom brightly, you're a lifesaver. The girl wipes her eye. So, you are the minister's son. Is it true what they say about him? The girl stops in front of the train entrance and turns to Salem. I am afraid so, yes, he... When their eyes lock, Salem's stomach drops. No way, she looks just like Sylvana. Empress Sylvana, supreme leader of the world government, soon celebrating her 50th year in power. Could you not stare at me, please? The girl turns to the Overseer of the train entrance, flicks her ticket, and steps onto the train. Sorry, Salem. She wipes her eye. I can't help again. That was a one-time thing. She pauses at the train entrance, glancing back at him. When you see your father, tell him the rich... The door of the train closes automatically, cutting her short. Wait! Can't you just... What the hell was that? Salem tries to squeeze past the Overseer, but it blocks his way. Departure of Petalwind 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 3 minutes. This is a high-security platform. Only individuals with a valid ticket are permitted here. Salem takes a step back and turns to the Overseer. I know this probably won't work, but I have to try. Blossom brightly, Mr. Overseer. Sir, I need your help. Salem points towards the train behind the Overseer. My father is in there. I haven't seen him in years. And now he is here, but he's very sick and needs me. The Overseer doesn't react. Could you please make an exception and let me through? It would mean the world to me. Just this once. The Overseer starts glowing red and charges its gun. Okay. Salem turns away from the angry Overseer and leans against a pillar as a teen exits the train. That was it. I tried. He slides down and crouches on the ground, knees pulled in, as the teen approaches him with a kazoo in his hand and some drums on his back. Blossom brightly, you must be Salem, right? Departure of Petalwind 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 2 minutes. Salem looks up to the teen, who is nervously tapping a rhythm against his drum with his fingers. Kurt Commerce Tube. I assist the train crew. Is it really true that the minister is your father? Answer your question and tell him about your father. Blossom brightly. Yes, he is. I promised to meet him on this train, but I lost my ticket. Oh no, darn. I wish I could help you, but my boss Wolfgang would... Kurt scratches his head with a drumstick while Salem looks down the platform, noticing someone sneaking over the tracks towards them. You know what? We are still waiting for someone else. I'll go inside and ask for the train to depart 3 minutes later. Salem slowly stands up, focusing on the stranger. Maybe you can go look if he dropped it somewhere around here? Yeah, that would actually be great. Departure Petalwin 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 1 minute. Great. I'd better hurry then. And good luck. Kurt passes the overseer and turns back to the train. As he gets closer, Salem recognizes the stranger. What? How? Can't be here. James, what are you? I had to say goodbye. Did you see my ticket? I lost it. Departure Petalwin 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 was delayed. It will now start in 3 minutes. Sorry, haven't seen any ticket, but you can't get on that train. I have to. We will hang out afterwards. But that outside district, Father needs me. No, it's not about him. That district, it's haunted. James raises his fingers and curls them around. Full of evil witches that want your soul, dark magic that corrupts the heart, and scary mutants that'll eat your brain. Only haunted thing here is his lovely Daisy smell. He's so cute when he tries to cheer me up. I'm just worried about that evil witch right in front of me. Will you help me look for my ticket or not? Departure Petalwind 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 2 minutes. James nods and they walk down the platform, away from the overseers, whispering to each other while looking for the ticket. Say, get real with me. What's really up? I'm afraid of what will happen when Dad is gone. James nods, but they keep their eyes down and search for the ticket. This might be the last time I can see him, and the first time he actually wants to see me. Sal, please. I know, but listen. Salem points to the train. This might sound cheesy, but it feels like I've been waiting for this train my whole life. Salem wipes his eyes. Dad needs me. He finally needs me. I just can't let him down. Departure of Petalwin 2XX2 from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 in 1 minute. Honestly, Sal, sometimes wish you'd be so passionate about us. Salem stops and lays his arms on James' shoulders. Don't say something like that. You are always the end goal. James turns away. Just a pity the end goal isn't the main goal. James takes out a worn book labeled Storm Oak Manual and hands it to Salem. Storm Oaks are an outdoor or activity youth organization. Members are ranked from sapling to mighty oak based on training and achievements. You forgot this last night. I thought you might... Salem grabs it, opens it, and finds the ticket in it. I used it as a bookmark! Salem rushes towards the overseer guarding the train. You are the best! See you at the beach in 3 days. James catches up to Salem and grabs his hands, pulls him near him and whispers in his ear. If you enter that train, you won't survive the end of the day. How do you know any of this? How could you possibly know what will happen to me? You're just trying to scare me. I wish I was. Where did you even hear this? From who? It doesn't matter. Of course it matters, but I know how much he loves his secrets. Salem steps away from James and holds his ticket towards the overseer, making it lower its weapon. Petalwin 2XX2 going from New Frankfurt to outside District 89 is ready for departure. Just listen to your heart. Don't do this. Salem boards the train. I am listening to it. The door closes. Salem runs down the train, looking for the one with his father. Fully focused on his search, he bumps into a teenage girl. He absently mumbles an apology, but then the girl hugs him. Sal, I've missed you, hairy dude. Salem laughs and hugs her back. Hey there, sis. How have you been? Lynn playfully pinches Salem's belly. Better now that you're around. So why are you ditching Dad? I am not... Calm down, calm down. I'm just messing with you. I've had enough bad jokes for a day, trust me. So how is he? Lynn freezes for a moment and then shakes her head. Come see for yourself. Lynn leads Salem to an isolated first-class compartment. Blossom brightly, my son. Glad you made it. Looks awful. Salem bows before his pale father, tubes running from his face into his wheelchair. Blossom brightly, father. Salem kisses his father's hand. Now, let me see. Salem points to the honor student patch on his uniform. Right here. Honor Student of the Year at Dunkelwald Academy, just as promised. Dunkelwald, German for Dark Forest, elite military academy, known for producing some of the most talented people worldwide. Student each year is crowned honor student. And Salem points to a shiny storm oak pin on his uniform. Right here, first mighty oak in all of New Frankfurt. Salem's father nods approvingly. Good, you really did it. Matthias turns to Lynn, who crosses her arms. See, Lynn, that's how you do it. Lynn puts her hands in her pockets. Yeah, whatever. Congrats, bro. Matthias closes the curtains of the compartment, takes out an envelope, and hands it to Salem. Son, we only have a few more minutes. Read this and keep it down. Salem opens the envelope and reads the handwritten letter inside, just loud enough for them to hear. My children, the doctors have given me 3 weeks. 3 weeks to live? Salem looks up to his father. He nods, gesturing to Salem to continue reading. Today is the day to pass the torch of Herr Stronka to you both, especially to you, Salem. Salem glances over to Lynn, whose face shows no emotion. You must win the violet level Storm Oak tournament, the Königstanz, German for Night Stance, a high-stakes Storm Oak tournament shrouded in legend. Storm Oak tournaments are difficult, green being the easiest, violet the hardest. The Königstanz is not a normal children's Storm Oak camp. You will compete in life-or-death trials to... Lynn's expression turns to anger. Violet level? Life or death? What the hell? I didn't sign up for some death tournament. Matthias catches his breath and reaches into his jacket, pulling out 2 small packages. Improved prototypes from R&D. Consider them insurance. Salem and Lynn exchange glances before unwrapping the packages, relieving sleek metal bracelets. Are those solar shields? Just like they have on TV. Both teens slip the bracelets on, and the display shows 100% battery remaining. Instantly, shimmering blue hexagons spring from the bracelets, forming translucent energy shields that glitter like crystals in the sunlight. Whoa! But what's this red button for? Matthias quickly reaches over and covers the red button with his hand. Don't touch that. Emergency use only. Does it have a built-in vital? Does it have a built-in vital densed? Matthias shakes his head. You'll understand when the time comes, but it will drain the battery down to 0%, so be absolutely certain before you use it. The teens deactivate their shields, the blue hexagons folding black into the bracelets with a soft hum. Whatever this emergency function is, a one-time use isn't much. Good. Now, read on. Compete in life-or-death trials to help preserve the glorious name of the House Stanka. Salem, you are a last hope. Everything depends on your potential. And Lynn, support your brother during the Königstanz. Be his strength, not his burden. I won't, Father. He can count on me, as always. Lynn looks away and mutters. Burden? I am the one who always saves him when things go sideways. Salem turns the letter and keeps on reading. Furthermore, Salem, you will Salem stops reading, his face turning pale. Lynn stands up and crosses her arms. You... what? Come on, spit it out! Matthias nods towards Salem, and Salem keeps on reading. You will marry Audrey Richter, Minister of Waldron, daughter of Minister Walden Richter. Your honor student achievements secured this alliance. Father, come on, for real? Wants me to marry a girl? But James... Audrey Richter will be at the Storm Oak event. Court her. Lynn sits back down and shakes her head in disbelief, looking out of the window. When I am gone, our legacy rests on your shoulders alone. Do not fail our name. Signed, Matthias Stranka. Stahlrank? No, Stahlrank. Oh, oops. Can you tell I don't speak German? Father, you can't exploit Sal's loyalty like that. Lynn, stop. No one is exploiting me. I'll win this tournament. I promise you that, Dad. Matthias nods. Father, could you excuse me for just a moment? I have to go to the restroom. Salem rushes to the restroom and locks the door behind him. He sits down on the cover of the toilet, shaking his head in disbelief. I didn't want any of this. Why is this a life-and-death tournament? I just wanted to see Father. Salem buries his face in his hands. I don't want him to die. Also, me marrying a girl. I am not sure if I'm even into girls, and I am not ready to leave this family. This is all way too much. Salem shakes his head. I just want to hang out with James at the beach, curl up and watch Sylvana's anniversary ceremony on TV, without fear of anyone bothering us. Salem gets up from the toilet. His book falls out of his pocket, revealing a letter. Another love letter? That's too dangerous to sneak it into a personal item of mine. A flowery smell emerges from the paper. Daisies. Salem smiles. James was awfully mysterious. Maybe he knew something about the Königsdance. Salem opens the letter and reads it. It's a song? Raspberry Sun. I hold you close, swimming both while nose to nose. You are the wave with lovely foam. Which shade of dream will be my home? Golden beach, sweet summer air, the cherry sunset becomes so rare. In the sea, where dreams come true, merriman froth lick in deepest blue. Raspberry sun, I hold you close, swimming both while nose to nose. Collapsing waves storm the beach while blackberry sun extends its reach. Raging dark waves reaching for sun, no golden beach when all is done. If the world changes through the storm, what merrimen will show their final form? Raspberry sun, I hold you close, swimming both while nose to nose. While the deep blue sea is torn apart, blackberry sun never fills the heart. Salem rubs his eyes. This seems useless for the Königsdance, but also really cute. Salem turns the page and sees more written on it. P.S. Sylvana or me? XOXO. Sylvana or me? What does that even mean? Why would I have to choose? James will really need to explain some things to me after this. I can't fail. I gotta push through this. Whew. I have to win for my future with James. I have to win for my future with James. Once I'm the top dog calling the shots, I'll be able to protect us, forever. He is about to leave the restroom when he hears a familiar voice from outside. Haha, me on the other hand, I can't wait to kill. You're so cool, Alb. So, have you ever killed someone? Just some unkrap back in the day with my old man. Why did he suddenly become Scottish? Just some unkrap back in the day with my old man. So, not really. Yeah, killing a real green blood. That's the only thing that counts. Greenblood, citizens classified by the world government as having pure bloodlines. Greenbloods enjoy full rights and privileges. Unpure bloodlines are called Unkraut, German for weeds. I'll start with that treating Stahlranker. Hey, you done in there? Albrecht knocks on the door of the restroom. Oh no, seems like Albrecht is still mad about losing the honor student title to me. What now? Fake a voice and say it's occupied. Occupied? Whatever. Let's just go to the next one. That was too close. Does he really want to kill people? That was him just talking cool in front of his friend, right? Salem looks at his patches and pins in the mirror, then his gaze moves up to his eyes. I never killed someone. Why didn't I bring any gear with me? Dad should have told... And Lynn, what is she even doing here? She is way too low-ranked for a mission like this. Salem listens for more voices or footsteps behind the door, but it seems clear. He returns to the compartment. Dad has to know more. I need all the intel I can get. I have to survive this. I have to win this. For my family. For James. Sal, you'll want to hear this. Dad said Sylvana personally organized this event, and the winners get... Hold on, Sylvana herself? Yep, and the winners get Green Order emblems. An audience with the Empress. That's impossible. They don't exist, they're made up. It's for Sylvana's 50th anniversary in 3 days. She's bringing them back. Salem flips his Storm Oak manual open and skips to the list of emblems. The one at the top of the list is labeled Green Order Emblem. Green Order Emblem. Gain 3 to become rank Forest Guardian. With 3 of those, I would outrank you. That was meant to be Raiden Linzoy, sorry. Become rank Forest Guardian and meet the Emperor personally. Seeing her on TV is one thing, but meeting her? That's beyond my wildest dream. Salem closes his book and puts it away as the train is starting to slow down. But GOEs are just a campfire myth. One I tell saplings to get them to behave. You're just messing around to motivate us, right, Dad? The train comes to a screeching halt, causing Mateus to cough some more. Attention, Storm Oaks. Welcome to District 89. Some of you were told this was a train to a summer camp. Well, it's not. This is the Koenigstarts, a 3-day tournament. Day 1 begins with a sundown trial. The rules for today are simple. The first to find the hidden camp will claim today's Green Order emblem. And the first 50 to find it will advance to tomorrow's challenge. Each day offers the chance for another emblem. Mateus stands up from his wheelchair, still coughing, and opens the window. Collect all 3 GOEs and you shall attend Sylvana's 50th anniversary celebration as her personal guest. Equipment packages await outside. God. Father, what? Mateus's coughing turns into a gagging, blood dripping out of his mouth. But, Dad... The announcer speaks in a loud and serious voice. The remaining 150 will be eliminated. Your time starts now. Eliminated? Can't breathe. Medic! Help! Someone get a medic! Her voice drowns in the surrounding chaos of over a dozen Storm Oaks abandoning the train. No, medic. We have to activate his vital dents. Salem pats down the body of his father, looking for the vital dents. He's not wearing one? Kids, run. Mateus leans far out the window, his body shaking with another violent coughing fit. Father, where is your vital dents? More blood spills from his mouth, dripping onto the ground below the train tracks, making the earth rumble. Sal, what the hell is that? Salem leans forward and follows his sister's horrified gaze. The ground is covered in thick, pulsating grass which is beginning to glow. The grass glows and twists into the grass grows and twists into vines, reaching upward like rising green flames. The vines multiply rapidly, reaching up the side of the train as if drawn to the family. Dad, get away! But Mateus, still coughing, doesn't notice as the vine snakes around wrists. More vines surge upwards, glowing bright, winding around Mateus's arms, his neck pulling him further out of the window. They burn! I don't know what's happening, but I gotta help him. The twins grab their father's legs just as the vines start to drag him out of the window. Hold on, we got you! The vines pulse brighter, and Salem can feel a hot tingling where they brush against his hands. We have to act fast. Look for an improvised tool. Salem spots a shard of broken glass from the window and grabs it carefully. He slices the thickest vine, but the glass barely scratches the surface. The vine's coating seems to harden on contact, like some sort of protective barrier. Not a chance. The vines pull the family out of the window, Mateus's face turning red from the vines around his neck. More vines emerge from the earth below, reaching for Lynn's legs and Mateus's torso. They got me! I have to save him. Save your sister. Salem kicks at the growing vines wrapped around Lynn's leg. To his surprise, they release her. Meanwhile, the vines drag their father down into the earth, leaving nothing but fresh dirt. Dad, why didn't you? I saved you instead. Father's gone. He really is gone. Salem glances at his sister. She's frozen in place, lips parted and breath shallow. I can't also lose Lynn. A vast meadow spreads before them, swarming with storm oaks locked in brutal combat with even more storm oaks parachuting down into the chaos. One larger parachute catches Salem's attention. It's descending towards the meadow's far end. You see that? That's an equipment crate. There's our gear. Whatever we do, let's get there first. How on earth are we gonna make it? Salem surveys the battlefield. Dozens of storm oaks attacking each other with improvised weapons, running, screaming. Pure chaos. The start of any battle is the most dangerous. Most will die right here in the open. So, let's ditch the crate and run away. No, we need gear, or at least a map, to find the camp before sundown. Lynn activates her solar shield, blue hexagons swarming to life around her wrist. Alright then, lead the way to the equipment crate. Which direction? Equipment crate? That's mine! Albrecht crawls out from beneath the train wreckage and charges towards the fallen crate. Hey, wasn't that... Albrecht, come on, follow me. We should go. We should go... right around the crowd. Actually, no, you always go left around the crowd. The siblings veer left, sprinting away from the train when a storm oak dropped from the train roof, slamming into them. Salem's solar shield automatically flickers to life, blue hexagons absorbing most of the impact as they crash to the ground. Before Salem can recover, the attacker pins him down, driving his knee against the shimmering shield barrier. Greetings from Albrecht, Moon Shrim. Shield's holding, for now. Sand in his face. Salem claws at the earth, hurling a fistful of dirt directly into the storm oak's face. Ah! What the hell? The attacker releases Salem, kicking towards the shield while pawing desperately at his face. Good, save some battery power. Salem checks his bracelet. The shield battery is at 80%. We can't keep taking hits like this. The shields won't last forever. More storm oaks emerge from beneath the train wreckage. Let's run. Time to get moving again. Stay left, I guess. Salem and Lynn veer left around the battlefield's edge where the tree line begins. A storm oak's parachute is tangled up in the high branches of a massive oak, leaving her hanging helplessly above the ground. Cut me down! I am bleeding! Someone, help! Her legs kick aimlessly, tangled by parachute lines. Below her, another storm oak patches up a wound on his leg. Salem spots something familiar near the storm oaks, dark vines emerging from the blood-stained earth, just like the ones that took his father. Something's grabbing my legs! What are those things? Warn them about the vines. Salem steps forward, cupping his hands around his mouth. Those are killer vines! Get away from the ground! The dangling Stormo looked down in confusion while the wounded one tries to crawl away. What are you talking about? More vines surge from the earth, wrapping around the storm oak on the ground and then up to the one in the parachute, pulling them into the earth. A tendril lashes towards the twin, but their solar shields fend it off automatically. Salem checks his bracelet. The shield battery is at 70%. My warning was too late. Lynn grabs Salem's arm as more vines emerge from the spreading blood. We tried. Now we run. The siblings sprint away from the tree-lined horrors, the equipment crate still visible in the distance. Should we have done more? We tried. Everything else would have been too risky. They continue their sprint towards the equipment crate at the end of the meadow. Time to get moving again. Left side, baby. Salem and Lynn approach the rocky battlefield's edge, running towards 3 storm oaks, 2 of which have long improvised spears on their backs. One storm oak sits cross-legged beside a second motionless storm oak, obsessively arranging wildflowers on his body. These are the real flowers you always wanted to see. A third storm oak kneels nearby, stroking the motionless storm oak's hair. Please wake up. We had plans. We wanted to meet Sylvana together. Oh no. Let's help them arrange the flowers. Salem grabs a flower, approaches slowly, and kneels beside the flower-arranging storm oak. That's beautiful. Can I help? But both grieving storm oaks suddenly turn towards him with fury. Looter! You're here to loot him! Get away from Marcus! They both grab their spears and thrust at Salem, who barely lifts his shield up in time. The spear points scrape against the blue hexagons, draining battery power as Salem backs away. I was trying to help! Lynn steps between them, hands raised. He meant no harm. We'll leave now. The siblings retreat quickly as the 2 storm oaks continue shouting threats. That was kind of you, Salem, even if they didn't think so. I just wanted to show some respect. Salem checks his bracelet. The shield battery is at 50%. The siblings move along, leaving the storm oaks behind. I can't blame them for grieving. It's nuts what's happening here. That will never happen to us. I'll make sure of it. Time to get moving again. Surely going left one more time. Do it. The siblings take the left and come across 3 storm oaks, 2 of whom are frantically digging the earth with their bare hands. Deeper! I can hear Anna calling from down there. Anna, save your breath! We will get you! The third storm oak stands guard with a sharpened stick, pointing it at the sibling. Back off! We're saving our friend! Taking where the vines took people. There's no way anyone survived that. Oh my god, we could use a skill. Fencing club. Assess the stick-wielding storm oak skill. Salem studies the opponent's stance. That technique. He probably never used a thrusting weapon outside of drills. Lynn, that storm oak is untrained. Follow my lead. Lynn nods and stays behind Salem, who has raised his hands. We're just passing through. We won't interfere. The god watches them suspiciously, but doesn't attack. Keep moving. The twins carefully walk around the group, giving them plenty of space. The diggers barely acknowledge them, too focused on their futile rescue attempt. Smart move. No need to get involved in that. The siblings leave the others behind, the sounds of digging resuming as they walk away. Salem and Lynn arrive at the supply crate, their boots stumbling through the dry grass. We actually seem to be first here. Too good to be true. Watch your back. Salem jumps onto the crate and starts pulling on the reinforced lid. It won't budge. We should... A familiar voice cuts through the battlefield's chaos. Look who took the bait! Fire erupts in a perfect circle around the crate, trapping the siblings. Albrecht steps through the flames unharmed, his silhouette distorted by the rising heat waves. I was sure you'd be smarter than this. Lynn, we need to get out of here. Lynn's solar shield blazes to life as she positions herself between Salem and the approaching Albrecht. Just get it open. We worked too hard to get here. I'll hold him off. The flames creep inward with methodical hunger. 50%. We're in trouble. Oh, unlocked. Try using your shield to pry it open. Salem activates his solar shield and wedges it under the crate's lid. Blue hexagons flare and hiss as they burn into the reinforced metal. Salem starts prying the crate open. Hurry! He's getting closer! Almost there! Albrecht lunges at Lynn, several swings blowing down on her shield. Open! Salem grabs the only backpack in the crate and swings it onto his back. Another swing rains down on Lynn's shield, but she dodges and is now back against the crate. Inside the crate, ammunition belts start hissing ominously from the heat. We've got it, but the crate's about to blow! Albrecht swings his bat at Lynn, her fading shield barely holding. How do we get out of here? How about a one-way ticket to hell? Albrecht goes in for another blow. Lynn's solar shield shatters like glass, and the bat crushes the bracelet on her wrist. Ow! Salem pulls his sister up, moves her behind him, and activates his shield. None of us will live if we don't get away now. Albrecht smiles and raises his bat, playfully pushing it against Salem's shield. Last chance. Admit you cheated. You're still going on about that bullshit? Albrecht pulls out a grenade and tosses it next to the hissing crate. See you in hell, cheater. Albrecht activates a grappling hook built into his bat and swings through the fire into the woods. The ammunition's hissing mixes with the beeping of the grenade underneath them. We're gonna die here, unless... Salem looks down at his solar shield bracelet, the red emergency button glowing ominously. Lynn, hold on tight! Lynn grabs Salem's back as he slams down on the red button. His bracelet flares with blinding white light as an energy dome erupts around them. The force field expands just as everything under them blows up with a deafening roar. The explosion catapults them through the air, heat and debris flowing around the protective dome. Ah! Don't let go! They crash land into a tree in the woods, the energy ball cushioning their fall. My back is killing me. Salem's bracelet starts overheating, smoke rising from the overloaded circuits. Hot! Ow! He quickly tears it off before it can burn more of his skin. Twins look back at the nearby explosion site. That was completely insane. Great call with the button. Yeah, thanks, but now our shields are out. But hey, we're alive. Now let's get out of here before Albrecht finds out. Both siblings limp away from the meadow into the cover of the woods. The twins arrive at a cliff's edge, hide behind an oak-like tree, rough bark digging into their uniforms as they catch their breath. I think we're going to go ahead and end it there, because my voice is starting to get very tired. But, very interesting concept for the game. The time choices are a neat way to put a little bit of pressure into this. I don't know if this route is going well or not, but you can find out for yourself by playing the demo. Available on Steam now. Oh, but I think that was a pretty neat game. I'm kind of curious to see where the rest of it goes from there. Excuse me. The rest of the game is just listed as coming soon. So looks like episode 1 is what you got for now, which is what we're playing. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you again to Replicant and Demi for the raids. Thank you very much to Replicant for the free subscription. Gotta protect that voice, do we though? Let's talk about what we're doing the rest of this week. So tomorrow, Saturday, there won't be a stream, but I'll be back on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time / 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Fall in Love Visual Novel Fest Day 3. We're going to be doing one that's a little bit earlier in the day for our European friends, make it a little bit easier for them to watch, although I know it's still pretty late for them, but a little bit better on their end. So I think with that, we will go ahead and wish you farewell. Let's see who we can send you off tonight. Who's live? Who's real? Wait, Netta's still playing Silent Hill? Okay. Netta is ending soon, so we won't raid into her. Anyway, let's see who we can send you off to. A lot of people playing Silent Hill F. Okay, all right. Well, I've managed to convince Netta to go for a little bit longer, so that's where we're heading off to. No, I've been tricked. I've been tricked. Let's go. Let's go ahead and pass you on over to Loom then. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and see you back here on Sunday in the afternoon for more Fall in Love Visual Novel Fest with Day 3. Until then, have a great night, everyone, and farewell. Bye bye.